For others, working with our award-winning SBA team to launch or grow a small business. And still others might use our unique savings plan today to save for tomorrow's dreams. Wherever you are in your wealth-building journey, Southern Bancorp can help. Stop by or visit banksouthern.com to get started. Southern Bancorp, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hey, I didn't order any pizza.
Jake from State Farm. After you saved me so much dough on insurance with that Parker promo, I devised a promo for you.
Here's the deal, Parker. State Farm offers everyone surprisingly great rates.
Right. Pepperoni pockets, cuckoo crusties.
There's no promo, it's just great rates.
And a cider ranch.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Austin Wingfield in Arkadelphia today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Under perfect conditions, your car traveling at 65 miles per hour can stop in about 300 feet. That's the length of a football field.
But a fully loaded tractor trailer, one that weighs 80,000 pounds, will take 2 football fields to stop. And that's if the driver is rested, paying attention, and the truck and load is properly maintained.
If you're in an accident with a big truck, call 1-800-CAR-WRECK.
Get the experienced team that's going to be on your side, by your side.
Welcome to the Southern Bancorp Badger pregame show. Chris Babb with Arkadelphia head coach Trey Shucker. This interview is brought to you by Austin Wingfield State Farm. Give them a call at 870-246-2162 or drop by 620 Pine Street on Monday to see what State Farm can do for you. Coach Shucker, week 8 of the regular season in Ashdown tonight as the Badgers will take on the Ashdown Panthers. It's homecoming here in Ashdown tonight at Dick Hayes Stadium. Before we talk about the high school, let's talk about junior high football to get us kicked off. Kind of strangely, they had a similarly strange schedule compared to, just like the high school did. So the last junior high game was last night, 7th grade with a 26-0 victory over Ashdown. The junior high team with a 42-0 victory over Ashdown to finish 5-1 in the conference, and they wait for Nashville and Malvern to play next week to find out who will be the conference champion. So a potential conference championship for your junior high team. Finished the season with a winning record, 5-1 in conference, and I know that has to be pleasing to the coaching staff to see their development over the course of the season.
No doubt, and just where that team started off the season at, with non-conference, we like to play bigger competition in our non-conference game to prepare us for conference, and they did that, and competed well, but really developed and prepared themselves for conference. Did a really good job. Went 5-1, and then the one loss that we had was we had an opportunity to win at the end of the game. It came down to a 2-minute situation, and just ended up not executing and being able to finish the game like we'd hoped. But really just started rattling those wins off after that, and did a really good job. Finished the season last night with a 42-0 win over Ashdown. Was a big finish to the season.
Defensively, this unit had several shutouts throughout the course of the season. I can think of 4 or 5 off the top of my head. And so the defense had been there all season, but I know you have to be pleased with the progress the offense made. Head coach Drew Lowe. You also have Anthony Jenkins, Preston Crowder, Coach John Ware. Coach Jenkins' first time as an offensive coordinator. And the offensive production really kind of improved as the season went on, and that's what you want.
Yes, and you talked about defense first. Defense, I think, averaged less than 10 points a game given up, and when you can average that, that's pretty daggum good for the defense. And then Anthony Jenkins did a great job with our offense. Was able to develop and learn a lot himself. And the last half of the season, you look at the numbers. Our offense is really very productive and really was able to put some points up. And he did a great job of preparing those kids, along with Preston Crowder, who's also a Badger alum, his first year with us as well in our junior high football program. And then John Ware was a big incremental part of our defense as well on the defensive line. Really, we had 4 defensive linemen that were able to get after it and disrupt a lot of plays. So, very, very proud of how our junior high team was able to progress and develop. And it starts with our coaches, and then our kids were very receptive as well to it. They came to work every day and got better and, just played hard. And that's really what it comes down to, especially in junior high, just playing the game the right way and then playing hard. And that's what our junior high did.
Seventh grade also got a win. I know you're in the seventh grade period, you and several of the varsity coaches with some of those junior high coaches, but the philosophy is to start them playing the schemes that they're going to play at the varsity level in seventh grade. They look to develop nicely over the course of the season as well.
Absolutely. We started off the season very slow. And a lot of that is because, in seventh grade, we're trying to teach them our schemes and how we, our coaching points, how our techniques, how we line up, just all the things. And there's a lot to take in, from a seventh grade mind. And, but they did another same deal, showed up every morning. We created some physicality. We created some mental toughness. Our kids were very receptive to it. And then over the course of the season, we started to really develop and play really, really well. And we finished last night against Ashdown with a big win, 26-0 over Ashdown. So, look at the first part of our seventh grade season looks a lot different than the end of our season. That's what we want. We want those kids to be able to develop, learn to play football the right way, the safe way, and as well as, learn our scheme and be able to execute it as well.
So congratulations to the junior high team. It's the varsity team now to wrap up the regular season over the next 3 weeks. Before we talk about Ashdown after the break, let's go back to last week's game against Waldron. Senior night, and you got 5 or 6 seniors in the end zone for touchdowns. You had productivity from the seniors all across the board, up front and the front 7 on defense, the offensive line. That had to be one of those, just a good memory. And as a coach, wanting the seniors to be able to have a memorable senior night, and that was what happened last week against Waldron.
Absolutely, a lot of senior production. As a player, there's a lot of games that you just kind of remember and think about. Just have memories of, and a common one that everybody has is their senior night. Everybody remembers what happened on senior night, whether it's good or bad.
Right.
And obviously you want it to be good, and it ended up being that way for our seniors. We had a lot of seniors that were able to make a lot of big plays and have a lot of memorable moments. So really good for our program to get a win and our team, and then as well as our seniors to be able to have that time as well.
It was a game in which Waldron came in, the underdog, Arkadelphia came in favored. But we've talked each week about none of that really matters. You still have to go out and execute no matter who you're playing against. And I thought offensively and defensively, both sides of the ball and special teams were able to do that. You got to score on special teams. The defense threw a shutout it didn't allow Waldron's offense to score, and then the offense had production.
Yes, and it was just a big overall team win. And our kids have done a really good job of preparing throughout the week and then being able to apply it and execute it on Friday. And that's what happens whenever we're able to do that. And, we're hoping and looking forward to doing that again tonight.
The Badgers and the Panthers a few minutes from kickoff. After the break, we'll talk about tonight's game as Arkadelphia is in southwest Arkansas to face the Ashdown Panthers. You're watching the Southern Bancorp Badger pregame show. This interview brought to you by Austin Wingfield State Farm, 870-246-2162, or visit them at 620 Pine Street on Monday. We'll be back with more with Coach Shucker after this timeout.
Price & Company Insurance is the area's only trusted choice independent insurance agency. What is that, you might ask? An independent insurance agency works for you, the customer, and not the insurance companies. So the next time you're shopping for home, auto, business, life, or health insurance, we invite you to experience an unprecedented level of customer service and expertise. Call or click for a quote today.
At Eccles, Thompson, and Kneebone CPA, we seek to provide accounting, tax, and financial planning services to individuals and small businesses with proficiency and integrity. Serving Arkadelphia since 1977, our staff looks forward to meeting your financial goals of today and also becoming your financial advocate for life. Visit us at 205 North 25th Street or call 246-8991 today. Eccles, Thompson, and Kneebone Ltd. says Go Badgers.
As a family-owned sporting goods supplier since 1950, Southwest Sporting Goods understands the value of customer service and is committed to providing the best quality customer service and merchandise available. Southwest Sporting Goods is located in Arkadelphia, but also has salesmen that cover the entire state of Arkansas to help ensure that their customers will receive the best customer service and pricing that can be found. Southwest Sporting Goods, located in downtown Arkadelphia, supporting the Badgers since 1950.
Locally owned and operated, Java Primo is the official coffee house of ArkadelphiaBadgerTV.com. At Java Primo, amazing coffee is just the beginning. In addition to coffee, drinks, and desserts, we also have wonderful options for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Shop our gift selection 24/7 online at javaprimo.com or visit us on Main Street in historic downtown Arkadelphia. Java Primo Coffee House, Cafe, and more says, Go Badgers!
Turner Rogers Manning & Plyler CPA is a longtime supporter of the Arkadelphia Public School District. Turner Rogers Manning & Plyler has established a reputation for providing clients with outstanding services that include auditing, accounting, and tax and business consulting. Contact Turner Rogers Manning & Plyler today at 870-246-4563 or by visiting them at 305 Professional Park Drive in Arkadelphia. Turner Rogers Manning & Plyler says, Go Badgers! Welcome back to the Southern Bancorp Badger pregame show. Chris Babb with Arkadelphia head coach Trey Shucker. This interview brought to you by Austin Wingfield State Farm, 870-246-2162. Coach, we said at the outset of the first segment that this is week 8 of the high school football season. Doesn't seem like that, but it is here. You always get to this part of the season, no matter who's on the schedule, and say, all right, here we go, wrapping up the regular season, getting ready to go into postseason mode. And a big opponent tonight here in Ashdown against the Panthers, a team that was started out the season 5-0, had 2 losses, but it's still a very talented team that can really be productive both offensively and defensively.
No doubt. You know, they're very, very talented. Anytime you go against very talented players, anything can happen. We've got to play well. We've got to play discipline. And, you know, we've just got to do what we're coached to do is really what it comes down to, and executing the plays that are called and at hand. You know, they've got big-name guys over there. I mean, Shamar Easter, everybody in the state knows about. He's got the Razorback offer. I believe he's committed to the Razorbacks. And so, you know, he's got a big future ahead of him, and he's a guy that we're going to have to account for. We've felt like we've had good game plans in the past against the, you know, what they do. But we've got, you know, everything's a new year. You know, I know we've had success in the past against it, but, you know, you've got to do it consistently. And tonight's no different. We're in their territory. It's their homecoming. You know, nobody wants to lose on homecoming. And so they're going to come out jacked up. They're going to come out ready to play. They're going to have a good game plan together, and we've got to go execute our game plan. So.
Offensively for Ashdown, it starts with quarterback Fricks. He went out last week in the Nashville game, was not able to finish the game. I think we probably expect that he'll be on the field tonight to face the Badgers. But offensively, what are you expecting to see from Ashdown? What have they shown so far this season?
Yeah, they've really hung their hat on running the ball. You know, just their offense and the gun tee, being able to run the ball is their mo. They've done that really well. They've done some play action off of it and got the ball out a little bit. They've tried a little bit more drop back. I would say that game plan going into it, based off of the past 2 weeks of what they've done, yes, they're going to try to establish the run, but I would not be surprised if we see that ball in the air a little bit more today, just to try to make things happen. They've got the players to do it if they can connect, and I think they're going to try to make a few more throws happen today than what we've seen probably the past 2 weeks of what we've got on film.
You mentioned Shamar Easter. Fans will see him wearing number 7 tonight. Also Winfrey out wide, number 10, the wide receiver, is an extremely talented receiver. When he gets the ball, he can make things happen.
Yes, he was one of the receivers that really hurt us last year. And kind of the same deal is, they're going to establish the run, but they were able to get the ball out in space last year against us. Number 10 is the one that really hurt us the most. And so they've still got both of them. We've got to account for them. Our DBs have to play really well in the back end, and our defensive front's got to be disruptive and create some mismatches up front. So linebackers have to run and tackle. I mean, it's no different than any other week, but we just got to do it a little bit better and maybe one step faster tonight.
Defensively, Ashdown, this is a team last year where Arkadelphia got out to a big lead.
Yeah.
You and I were talking before we recorded this. It was 28-0. Get ready to go on cruise control. And unfortunately, as you and I were talking about, that seems to be what some of the guys did. It was cruise control, and then you were able to hold on to win 33-28, I believe, or something similar to that.
Yeah.
But this is a defense that can put stops as well, so I would imagine trying to get out early and an early start. We've talked about that a lot this season, but how important a quick start is offensively for your team.
It's always important to start out quick and to be effective in that first drive or two and really set the tone for the rest of the game. I feel like just the way we've been, if we can execute early and get in a rhythm early, the rest of the game usually we can stay on rhythm. But yeah, they always have a really good defensive game plan. They always go out. They're athletic enough to execute a lot of different ways, and they run to the ball well and tackle well always. Coach Richardson does a great job with them and preparing them for that, and so expect that tonight as well. They're going to run and tackle well and try to make plays, but they're going to be disciplined in what they do.
All right, Arkadelphia head coach Trey Shucker as he previews the Badgers and the Panthers. Kickoff is just a few minutes away. We'd like to thank Austin Wingfield State Farm for sponsoring this interview with Coach Shucker each week, 870-246-2162. After this break, we'll be back with more of the Southern Bancorp Badger pregame show. You're watching Arkadelphia Badger football on ArkadelphiaBadgerTV.com. We'll be back after this timeout.
Doctors Gary and Rob Rucker are proud sponsors of this Arkadelphia Badger broadcast. Dr. Gary and Rob Rucker supporting the Badgers since 1996.
Get real attention on your auto insurance. Get real auto, home, and life insurance. Get Farm Bureau Insurance.
Call Clark County Farm Bureau today at 870-246-4554. Locally owned and operated, Welch Funeral Home has been serving the Arkadelphia community since 2005. Our goal at Welch Funeral Home is to offer every family that will allow us to serve them the most caring, dignified, professional service at the most affordable price. With over 40 years of experience in the funeral home industry, owner Tim Welch and Welch Funeral Home have also been longtime supporters of the Arkadelphia Badgers and Lady Badgers. Contact Welch Funeral Home at 870-230-1400 or visit them at 202 South 4th Street near downtown Arkadelphia.
While you may not be a pediatric surgeon volunteering your topiary talents at a children's hospital, your life is just as unique. Your Raymond James financial advisor gets to know you, your passions, and the way you give back, so you can live your life. That's life well planned.
Welcome back to the Southern Bancorp Badger pregame show. Chris Babb with Chase Hartzell as we await kickoff of the 4A7 matchup between Arkadelphia and Ashdown. Arkadelphia 6-0 overall, 3-0 in conference play. Ashdown 5-2, 1-2 in conference play. It is homecoming. You see the homecoming court being introduced, and we are about 10 minutes away from kickoff. We will mention that we did lose the stream a few minutes ago. We are doing the best we can. You'll see a scroll up above your on the stream every once in a while mentioning that if you'll just refresh, you should be able to get it back. We'll monitor that throughout the night. Apologize for any inconvenience, but we'll use what we're dealt with. And so we are ready for football. Chase, when you take a look at this game, Ashdown, one of the most talented teams. They've had a rough couple of weeks, but I believe the Ashdown Panthers, when they come back to practice this week, are ready to put a good effort, and that's what you would expect on a night like this, especially at home.
I think you hit the nail on the head, Chris. You look at this Ashdown team, great start to the season, 5 straight wins, some pretty definitive wins, too, over some opponents from higher classifications, and really just an all-around strong effort to the season. Got a win against Waldron, too, in conference. But then you start to look at the last couple of weeks, lost a tough one to Malvern, a very good Malvern team who is still undefeated themselves. And then you look at last week. Nashville is a team that had a down year last year, but they've been looking to improve this year. Ashdown was up for most of the game last week, but then you look at the second half, Jonathan McElroy, the starting quarterback for the Panthers, goes down with an injury. The stars align for the Scrappers, and they're able to come out with a victory on the road here at Ashdown. So Panthers going to be playing with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder after the last couple weeks, but they've been right in those contests, and they're looking forward to show out tonight in front of the homecoming crowd and the senior night crowd as well.
Those who have been to Ashdown before, look out and see the new turf field at Dick Hayes Stadium. And we are about 7 minutes away from kickoff. You mentioned quarterback McElroy. He was injured last week against Nashville. He was dressed out and went through pregame warm-ups, went through the senior night, so we do expect McElroy to play. McElroy has a lot of speed. You know, a lot of what Ashdown ran against Malvern at that game a few weeks ago when some of the Badgers were up there watching was a lot of that quarterback. If he gets in space, it's going to be tough. Ashdown has always had speed. You heard Coach Shucker on the pregame show talk about, I called him Fricks. Fricks is the running back. Be ready to hear that name as well. But also McElroy at quarterback, Shamar Easter at wide receiver, and also Winfrey at wide receiver. Ashdown always has speed, and that's no different this year.
That's absolutely right, Chris. You talked about McElroy, and really the last couple of weeks have shown just how crucial he is to this game plan. Malvern able to find a way to neutralize him a bit in that matchup, and that led to success for the Leopards. And then last week, the Scrappers, you lose McElroy in that first half. Going into the second half, Nashville able to adjust their game plan with him out of the game, and the Panthers unfortunately losing a lead there. But really, when you look at this offense, it lives and dies with McElroy. He is the true captain on that offensive side of the ball. But Shamar Easter, you mentioned him as well, a D1 talent committed to the University of Arkansas. We'll see how he factors into the game plan tonight, but always able to make a difference when he gets the ball in his hands, and he can also make some good defensive plays as well.
Being sure tacklers will be a key for the Arkadelphia defense tonight for sure. If you take a look at Arkadelphia's offense and Ashdown's defense, Arkadelphia, Coach Shucker talked about it in the pregame show as well, but I really think it's important for Arkadelphia to get off to a quick start. We've seen that the last few weeks against Camden, Fairview, Hot Springs, Texarkana, Nashville. You know, it was 2-2, you know, but I think it's really key for Arkadelphia to get off on to a fast start offensively to kind of set the tone.
And we saw it in non-conference too. Arkadelphia, when they got out to a strong start, they usually ran pretty well with the score the rest of the way, the only exception really being Texarkana. But we go back to that Week 2 matchup. Arkadelphia had a little bit of a slow start against Hot Springs, and it took them the full game to really rebound there, and they were able to come back in the end and win that game. But really, since conference play has started, Arkadelphia scoring on their first drive most of the time out, and they just keep piling on the points in that first half. That's been the key to success for the Badgers. Defense has made some nice stops in the first half as well. So really look for both sides of the ball to excel here early to lead to a Badger victory.
It is Week 8 of the Arkansas High School football season. 2 more weeks, Week 9 and Week 10. Arkadelphia will be off next week. Then they'll finish the season at Malvern in Week 10. Ashdown will finish next week. They're off Week 10. Nashville is at Waldron tonight. They will have a game against Malvern next week. That's a big one. And then they're supposed to go to Lone Oak for a game in Week 10. We'll see if they actually end up playing that game, because that is shaping up now. It could be a potential first-round playoff matchup. But a lot of stuff going. Arkadelphia and Malvern, as we mentioned, both 3-0 in conference play. Nashville 2-1, Ashdown 1-2. The Panthers are trying to hop back in that race. And you know, Chase, we're sitting here in an 8-game schedule. This is game 7. It's kind of crept up on us, and then the stretch run is here for the regular season as you try to get ready for the playoffs.
Well, and every game counts in the regular season, no matter what year it is, but especially in a year like this, like you mentioned, Chris, fewer opportunities to go out in the regular season and really stake your claim to the conference and also get that good seeding for the playoffs. Always crucial, trying to win that home field advantage. For Arkadelphia, they've only got 8 opportunities out this year. They've already played 6 of them, but you look at 2 of the best teams in the conference still on the schedule tonight, including the Panthers here tonight. It's going to be crucial for the Badgers to do what they've done all season long and just go out there and play their best football, put their best foot forward, and hopefully that's going to work out well going into the later part of the season.
That'll wrap up the Southern Bancorp Badger pregame show. You see the captains from left to right: Trip Campbell, Alan Buckley, Alex Gatlin, and July Solomon making their way to center field. After this break, we'll have play-by-play Jeff Root, Chase Hartzell. That'll wrap up the Southern Bancorp Badger pregame show. We'll be back after this timeout. You're watching Arkadelphia Badger football on ArkadelphiaBadgerFootballTV.com.
The Board of Directors at South Central Electric Cooperative believes in the necessity of high-speed internet access in rural South Central Arkansas. South Central Connect was created to fulfill a need other internet providers were not able to provide in our area. South Central Connect through our local cooperative, brings the necessity of internet service to your house, much like they did electricity in the 1930s. Sign up today at southcentralconnect.net or call 855-269-3429.
R&T Dixon's Exxon stores are proud to support this Arkadelphia Badger broadcast. Locally owned and operated by Randy and Tanya Dixon, we welcome you to visit one of our locations in Arkadelphia or Caddo Valley at each I-30 exit. We're also excited to open a bigger and better Tiger Mart at 10th and Pine in Arkadelphia next spring. R&T Dixon's Exxon stores say, "Go Badgers!"
And we are back at Dick Hayes Stadium in Ashdown for the game tonight. Captains for Arkadelphia tonight include Alan Buckley, Trip Campbell, Alex Gatlin, and also Jacoby Scott. One captain for Ashdown, and that is the senior offensive tackle Xavier Brown, who goes 6'7", 295. Not the only large player that the Badgers will face tonight for Ashdown. As we heard in the pregame show, Arkadelphia 6-0, looking to keep its season undefeated. Ashdown 5-2, but they've lost 2 in a row. I would think, Chase, that would mean Ashdown is very, very focused tonight. If they want to salvage their season, tonight's the place to start.
A lot of motivation going into this game, not only when you look at those last 2 losses, but you look at what night it is, too. This is senior night. Last chance for these seniors to go out and play in front of their home crowd. At least during the regular season, they're trying to fight for some of that playoff seeding to maybe get a home game in the playoffs. But in order to get into the playoffs, you got to win games like these. And in order to move up in the seeding, same case there. That's exactly what Arkadelphia is looking to do as they take the field here tonight on the far side, looking to remain undefeated and stay in position for one of those top seeds going into the 4A state playoffs.
It is senior night, also homecoming, and a very emotional homecoming. Tears of joy coming from several young ladies when they announced the queen tonight. So it's an emotional night all around for folks here in Ashdown. A very good turnout. Full home stands right below us. We are in the home side press box, and you've got a good view of the field. And on the visitor side, as you see it, you're going to see a full visitor side. That's a new stand over there. It doesn't have a press box, and that's not disappointing to us because we're glad to be on the home side to get a better view of the field for you and also to bring you the Arkadelphia High School Band at halftime. But it's a full crowd on the visitor side from Arkadelphia, as one would expect. Ashdown will kick off tonight. Arkadelphia will receive the kickoff, and Chase, that is good news for the Badgers. They love to put the offense on the field.
What we've seen it the last several weeks, Arkadelphia loves to get out there and put the first points up on the boards. It really allows the defense to sell in as well. Though they haven't needed much help in that area, as they've really done well against the last 2 conference opponents, Mina and Waldron, neither one getting above 7 points in those last 2 matchups. Arkadelphia also playing their second-string defense for most of the second halves in those games. So really, in just every facet, every string right now for Arkadelphia stepping up as we get into the middle and later portions of this regular season schedule.
This is the same location as Ashdown has played for decades, since Dick Hayes himself was the coach, but they have a brand new turf field that is just beautiful. So as they set up for the kickoff, Arkadelphia came up forward looking for an onside kick. Now they're going to back up and hope to be able to return a longer kickoff. Kicking off for Ashdown is Michael McElroy. He's a left-footed kicker. 2 left-footers tonight. Brock Curry for Arkadelphia, also a left-footer. There's a bouncing ball picked up at the 33, returned to the 35, and to the 40-yard line. On the return for Arkadelphia was Cade McBride.
And Cade McBride showing off some nice hands there, playing a lot of linebacker this season, but able to scoop up the ball with no problem, and also got some good yardage on the return. It was good coverage by Ashdown, but Arkadelphia's going to have excellent field position, just about 60 yards to go to the end zone.
Ashdown is averaging 34 points a game offensively and averaging defensively, giving up 17, but Arkadelphia comes in averaging well over 40 points per game. Here is a running play on first down right up the middle and good yardage. 8, 10, 12 yards right up the middle to Kyle Reed, the sophomore.
It's great to see Reed finding the opening early. He struggled a bit last week against the 5-2 offense, and the 5-2 defense of Waldron, and that's going to be good enough for a Welch Funeral Home first down.
Arkadelphia set up very quickly, wanting to run a fast pace, but the ball got away. They've just retrieved it and set it at the 48-yard line of Ashdown. Arkadelphia already in Panther territory. Man in motion is Carter Babb, and he'll set up on the right side. Rolling to his right, Whitten will throw complete to the 38-yard line, and a big hit, and a flag goes down. That might have been helmet-to-helmet contact. We'll see. Babb jumps right back up after the catch. Going to be a holding call against Arkadelphia, so it was not on the tackle. It was against Arkadelphia, holding call Well, that's a shame. They ran that play well, and Babb made a good catch. Good to see also that he's up and perfectly fine after that big hit. They'll spot the ball at the 45. The holding call came after the completion. They started at their 47, got a nice gain near first down yardage, but then because of the hold, they'll back it up to the 45-yard line. So it's first down over again, and they'll mark it from the 45. First down and 8. Man in motion. That's Reed. He'll set up to the bottom of your screen. Back to pass. Witten will throw a pass. It's complete to the 40, to the 39-yard line. Reed with the catch.
And that time, Arkadelphia setting the man in motion. It's Reed, and he was able to use the new positioning to his advantage, found a mismatch. Witten able to connect for some solid yardage there following the penalty.
Second down, 3 yards to go after the completion to Reed. He stepped out actually on the 40. So from the 40-yard line, it's second down, 3 yards to go. Witten is the quarterback, of course. Big year for Mr. Witten. And he'll want a big game tonight against this very fine team in Ashdown. Back to pass. He's looking downfield. He's got some time. He throws it incomplete. He was hit just as he threw, and it sailed over the hands of Carter Babb, who stretched down the sideline, couldn't bring it down. Ashdown has 12 seniors. They were honored previous to the game, and there are among those 12 seniors some really fine football players. Now the ball gets away. Witten will fall on it and preserve the ball, but it's going to be a loss on third down and short. It becomes fourth down and long. Not a turnover, but the loss makes it fourth down and 9 from the 46-yard line of Ashdown.
And again, that was Adrian Fondren getting to the ball that time for Ashdown. He's made a couple of good plays in a row for the Panthers.
Arkadelphia lines up to go for it. On fourth down and 9, I believe they just made an Ashdown Panther jump off sides. That's going to be helpful. That'll make it fourth down and 4. Ball spotted at the 41-yard line. Been back and forth for these two teams. Some mistakes on each side in this first drive for Arkadelphia, and the Badgers face fourth down and 4. 41-yard line of Ashdown. They'll look to the sideline now to get the play. 3 receivers top of the screen, 1 to the bottom of the screen. That is Bailey, Evan Bailey at the bottom of the screen. They're going to hand it off. Kyle Reed is close to a first down, but he might be a yard short. That might have just turned it over on downs to Ashdown. Good run by Reed, but he was hit and couldn't fall forward quite effectively enough. So first down for Ashdown at its own 39-yard line.
So a tough break there for the Badgers, but not a bad play call there at all, especially after Reed's long run of 13 yards earlier on the drive. He had a little bit of space up the middle there, but credit the Panthers to contain up the middle and stop him just short of that first down marker.
And they do go to the backup quarterback, and he is a passer. We saw him warming up in pregame. This is Kason Horn. Horn is not their regular starting quarterback, but he was injured last week, and he's not starting the game at quarterback. Horn back to pass. He's got some time to throw deep, and he fires it deep, and it is incomplete. They intended that for a young man named Caden Winfrey. Last year, Chase, he caught 10 passes against Arkadelphia and had 3 touchdowns. He's 6'2", but he couldn't get there that time because of some good defense.
Well, almost a big start to the night right there. Beautiful ball from the backup quarterback. Good coverage that time, though. Kelburn Middleton was right there with him all the way and put himself in good position almost to try and get the interception that time, but the ball falls incomplete.
Jonathan McElroy, by the way, a running back last year, quarterback this year, hurt last week. He's not starting the game. The starter at quarterback again is Carson Horn, and he's going to hand off. This is a familiar opponent, and he's going to make about 2 yards and then be brought down. On the carry, his first of what we think is going to be many carries tonight, is Jaden Fricks, all-conference player last year. That was a gain of 2. Third down, 8 yards to go. Arkadelphia lines up to try to get this ball back quickly if they can hold them to a 3-and-out on the first possession. Arkadelphia turned it over on downs, had a penalty, and then a snap that got away, and it ended the drive a yard short on fourth down. But now it's third down and 8 for Ashdown. Shamar Easter lines up at the bottom of your screen. He is a future Razorback. Back to pass. Pass across the middle, and he's got it, but I think he might, if they spot it correctly, is going to be about a half yard short. Fourth down is coming, I believe. They're going to mark it maybe a full yard short at the 48-yard line. He was open, though, and caught the pass. Easter is 6'6", and so he can get up high and catch the ball in places where defenders can't quite reach.
He ran an excellent route that time over the middle. Arkadelphia's had some trouble with balls over the middle early in the season. We'll see if Ashdown tries to go back to that play again later in this matchup, but we'll see what they do here on 4th and short.
Horn at quarterback. He's got 3 blocking backs to his right. And there's going to be an offensive movement. I think that's going to go on the offense. I didn't see the defense jump. That's going to make it 4th and 6 and a different story. Both teams a little jumpy here early in the game. Arkadelphia with a bad snap. Arkadelphia with a holding call, and now Ashdown on 4th and 1. Procedure call. Looks like they're going to turn around now and punt.
So a costly mistake there for the Panthers, but as you mentioned, Jeff, both of these teams know that they're fully capable of winning this game here tonight, and maybe some of the adrenaline from that working against both teams right now as they're both a little bit antsy. We'll see if or which team can settle in first.
Arkadelphia is set for the punt return. They've practiced catching punts, not just letting them roll, and now we've got a timeout, and Arkadelphia has called timeout. So we're going to take a break. As I stretch to look for the scoreboard, I see 8:43 left in the first quarter. No score in this football game, and we'll be back after this word.
Arkadelphia Tire and Outfitters is locally owned and operated by James and Tara Rollins, who were both raised here and continue to be active in our community. Arkadelphia Tire and Outfitters offers a variety of services from engine and transmission replacements to brakes, front end alignments, tire repair and replacement, and engine diagnosis on most makes and models. Stop by Arkadelphia Tire and Outfitters at 1802 Pine Street or give them a call today at 870-210-5269. Supporting Arkadelphia for years, Arkadelphia Tire and Outfitters says, "Go Badgers."
Back to action. Easter is deep to punt the ball to Arkadelphia. The Badgers had to call timeout because they had a mistake and didn't have everybody covered on the punt team, and it is a fake. He's going to throw it downfield and throw a completion to the 45-yard line, to the 40 of Arkadelphia, out of bounds at about the 28-yard line. Well, he threw a very nice pass, Chase, and they had 3 receivers out on the play, and one found his way open.
That's right. Beautiful play call there from Ashdown on 4th down, lining up like the punt, or for the punt, as you mentioned, Jeff, but that time finding the man over the middle. The man that came up with the ball was Darnell Williams, a sophomore for Ashdown. He ran a perfect route over the middle and a nice run after catch as well to get the Panthers all the way down to the 30-yard line.
So the man in the slot to the bottom of your screen, number 10 in your picture, he's an outstanding receiver, as is Easter. He's lined up behind the left tackle, but Horn wants to run. A flag goes down, and he's going to make about 5 yards, but the flag's in the backfield where you sometimes see a holding call.
And that is indeed the call here. White Hat issuing the call this time, and as you mentioned, Jeff, usually the case for that is holding. And indeed, the Panthers are going to be put in reverse here following a crucial 4th down conversion, just the play earlier.
3 main players on this offense with McElroy out. That's going to be their wide receiver, Caden Winfrey. They threw to him on the first play from scrimmage. Also, Jaden Fricks, an outstanding running back. And, of course, the future Razorback, Shamar Easter. And they threw to him on 3rd down in the first possession. And then he passed for the completion on the fake punt. Now he's going to line up behind the right tackle. 2 receivers, including Winfrey, at the bottom of your screen. The quarterback is Horn, backup quarterback, but a good passer. He's got a lot of time to throw, and he'll throw short and incomplete. Winfrey was standing at the 40, but the ball bounced to him.
It looked like Horn was looking for Easter all the way that time. Couldn't find his man, went to his second option and fell just a little bit short. Great coverage all around that time from the Badgers. And it's going to be 2nd and very long here for the Panthers.
Ball is just short of the Arkadelphia 45-yard line. They've got to make it to the 20 for a first down. It's 2nd down as Ashdown got a big gain on a fake punt. But now running into a bit of trouble after a holding call and an incomplete pass. Fricks is in the backfield this time. He's a fine running back to the right of his quarterback. He's going to stay in and block, though. Here's a pass to the right side. That is complete. That's Winfrey. He's knocked out of bounds at the 34-yard line. That's a gain, but 3rd down and long coming up next.
Good play call that time again from the Panthers. Just a simple route to the outside that time. Wide receiver makes a great catch. Good ball from Horn. But when you're behind the sticks like that, it can make it a little bit challenging here on 3rd and long. Though the Panthers have made it 3rd and a little bit more manageable here following the 2nd and very long. First down markers all the way down near the 20, and the Panthers were just about at midfield to play a go.
3rd down, 15 yards to go. The quarterback Horn went to the sideline, got the play. He's going to send Fricks in motion. He's going to pass it back to him. Arkadelphia cannot tackle him up front, and they're going to drag him close to a first down. Where are they going to mark this? He just kept going even after the Badgers had him tackled, and let's see where they're going to spot the ball. He's got to make the 20 for a first down. They're going to mark it at the 21. It's 4th down and 1. He got a great sprint through the defense and then yardage after contact.
And this is a place where the Panthers have found themselves earlier on this drive. If you'll remember, it was a false start call. One of the offensive linemen moved early, so we'll see how the Panthers can rebound now with this second attempt.
3 blocking backs to the right of the line of scrimmage. Horn is the quarterback. He's going to keep it, looking for a yard. He's hit immediately, and I don't know if he got it. It's very close. He might not have gotten there. They're going to mark it just short of the 20. Arkadelphia believes they have the ball. I don't think they're going to have to measure because he did not make the 20-yard line. Arkadelphia has held, and both teams have failed to convert on a 4th down.
Great stand there for the Arkadelphia defense. A little bit frustrating earlier in the drive as they were able to force the 4th down situation, but a great job by Easter and the special teams unit converting in that case. Faced again with a 4th and even shorter that time. Badgers knew what was coming. They got around the edge and were able to stuff the ball carrier. That time it was Horn right around the line of scrimmage, and now Arkadelphia may have the ball here on offense. They're going to take a second to measure first, though.
Well, the defense for Ashdown is on the field. The offense for Arkadelphia is on the field, but a measurement, I think, has been requested, and so they are going to measure. But based on where I was seeing the markers on the far sideline, I think he had to get to the 20. Yeah, it's the first down, Arkadelphia. Well, just wanted to make sure, and they did. First down, we'll call it the 21-yard line. It is squarely between the 21 and 20. First down and 10 for Arkadelphia. Donovan Whitten at quarterback. The sophomore Kyle Reed is his running back. 3 receivers top of the screen. Bab Hughes and Trip Campbell. But it's a handoff. And hit in the backfield is Reed. Nowhere to go. It's going to be a loss on the play. Read option, but they had both the quarterback and the running back covered.
And Rizell Ellis was one of the men to get to the ball carrier Reed first. He's a senior tonight. Again, celebrated earlier in the night.
Loss of 3. Whitten back to pass. He's looking deep. He'll throw short now. That's a completion to Bailey. Bailey to the 30, 31-yard line. That should be enough for a first down.
They're going to go ahead and say move the chains for a Welch Funeral Home first down. Great route there by Bailey. He's made some great plays as one of the younger wide receivers in this senior dominant wide receiving core this year.
Bailey and Hughes are the receivers to the right of the screen, and now a flag goes down, and that just might be offsides against Ashdown as the defensive end did move, and they are going to mark it off against the Panthers. First down and 5 for Arkadelphia. Ball at the 37-yard line, looking much better than it did after that first down play all of a sudden. Arkadelphia's turned things around. Babb and Campbell, top of your screen. Bottom of the screen, that's Hughes and Bailey. And now a timeout has been called by Ashdown. So we're going to take another break. This is a really intense football game, but there's no score yet. 0 for Arkadelphia, 0 for Ashdown. 6:38 left. We're in the first quarter tonight, and we'll be back after this.
Now managed by the Van Dorn Group, Sonic of Arkadelphia is ready to get involved in the Arkadelphia community. With the goal of making improvements to the Arkadelphia restaurant, the Van Dorn Group is committed to making Sonic of Arkadelphia one of the best around. Stop by Sonic of Arkadelphia today for a Route 44 slush or drink to go with the great Sonic burgers, tater tots, or french fries. Top it off with your favorite ice cream treat. Visit Sonic of Arkadelphia on 10th Street today and tell them thanks for their support of the Arkadelphia Badgers.
It is a cool night here in Ashdown at 77 degrees and going to get cooler, and there's a little air conditioning here in our booth, which is good because we've got 5 people basically in a phone booth here on the home side, but we're glad to have this spot because we can see the game clearly. Well, until the angles hit us, but right now we can see the game clearly, and we've got a good spot for Coleman Callan and our camera. The 3 C's. Back to pass. Donovan Whitten. He's scrambling. He's in trouble, and he will be tackled. A sack all the way back to the 29-yard line. He tried to get away and just couldn't.
Caleb Blankenship, a junior that time, exploding off the line and able to wrap up Whitten. We don't see Whitten sacked too often, but that time the junior able to catch up with the senior quarterback for Arkadelphia. And a huge play there for Ashdown following the penalty.
2nd down and 13 for Arkadelphia. 2 receivers top of the screen, 2 to the bottom. Back to pass is Whitten under pressure. He escapes that pressure and will throw deep. He's firing it deep to Hughes. He's got him, 23-yard line, and then he dropped the ball. They're going to call it incomplete. He turned and ran and took a step or so, but didn't control the ball, and then it fell out of his arms. I know he was seeing touchdown and just lost control of the ball. What a long, long throw it was from Whitten, and it looked like it would be a score, but instead it is 3rd down and 13.
Tough break there for the Badgers. Credit the Panther defense that time. Excellent pressure again up front. Donovan Whitten able to resist it and throws a beautiful ball downfield. Able to find Latonio Hughes, but it looked like something was lost in the transfer there as it drops to the ground. Now Arkadelphia facing 3rd and long.
3rd down, 13, and man, does Ashdown look like they want to come after the quarterback right here. They got 5 defensive linemen, and 3 of them are standing to rush the quarterback. They're coming after him, but he's got a little bit of time to pass. Flags go down. That might be against Arkadelphia, and the pass to Babb is over his head at the 50-yard line and incomplete. The spot of the flag makes you think it's going to be a hold. They could decline this and have 4th down. We'll see. They do decline it. It's 4th down and 13. Arkadelphia standing at its own 29-yard line. Badgers have had some good offensive plays, and Ashdown's had some good defensive plays. Same thing when Ashdown has the ball, so there's no score in this football game. On 4th down, Arkadelphia lines up to go for it from its own 29-yard line. And now Whitten's going to back up. I believe we'll see him punt, and he was really punting very well in the pregame warm-ups. His kick is a line drive shot. It's going to bounce high, but is returnable from the 25, returned to the 29-yard line, and that's all. Good tackle by Carter Babb. That's not bad. You're 29 to their 29 in a high school football game. You don't see many punts better than that.
I think you summarized it perfectly there, Jeff. Donovan Whitten setting up to pass the ball, but we've seen it several times throughout his career. That time Coach Shucker asking him to drop back and boot it away. And really Whitten, one of those guys that can really contribute in just about every way in the game, this time on special teams, able to flip the field very effectively.
Winfrey is the receiver at the top of the screen. He's a dangerous one, as is Easter, who's lined up behind the right tackle, or really behind the tight end. They're going to run with Fricks, and he's going to get some yardage up to the 34-yard line. You've just kind of been waiting for that because he's a very good running back, Chase.
And Fricks looked very explosive on that 3rd down play on the previous drive, so we'll see if the Panthers will capitalize on that momentum that he seems to have right now coming out of the backfield. So explosive out of the backfield for the Panthers.
Gain of 5, 2nd down 5 for Ashdown at its own 34-yard line. Always keep an eye on Easter. He's behind the tight end to the left, now going in motion. He is a future Razorback, 6'6", 225. Running play for Horn. He's hit at the line of scrimmage and will get nothing. Arkadelphia gang tackling. Now they're trying to push him forward, and he might have gotten a yard or two, but not more than that. 3rd down coming.
And one thing that you see from the Panthers that you don't necessarily see from every team that Arkadelphia has played this season is they're always trying to get that extra yard by pushing the pile. That was the case there, and they were able to get maybe 1 or 2 yards at the end of the play thanks to some help from the offensive line. But nonetheless, Ashdown going to face a tough 3rd down situation here on their own side of the field.
They're going to bring in an extra lineman and a couple of blocking backs. Interesting to do this on 3rd down and 3. But that's the formation, only 1 wide receiver. The quarterback, Horn, wants to throw to him. He fires it, and that is Easter, and he will not catch it because he bobbled it just enough for Arkadelphia to get there. Really fine play defensively by Kelburn Middleton.
Well, the start of that play went exactly how Ashdown drew it up. Shamar Easter able to get just a little bit of separation, but there was that bobble of the ball at the end of the play, and that moment of hesitation by Easter allowed Kelber Middleton to get in there and cause the disruption, and the pass drops to the ground incomplete. Nice play there for the Badger defense, and we'll see if the Panthers choose to go for it this deep in their own territory.
All right, Arkadelphia is going to have to line up defensively now. I don't know that they have everybody lined up yet. They're looking for somebody to cover every receiver. They've got 4 wideouts. Easter this time is going to punt it, almost blocked. Oh, they're going to throw a flag. That's going to be against Arkadelphia for running into the kicker. Ball rolls down to the Arkadelphia 25-yard line. Just barely made contact, but Easter went down, and they are going to call it against Arkadelphia. They went for the block, did not get the ball, and got, I'd say, just a little bit of the kicker, but he's 6'6". He must have gotten a little bit of his leg, and the call was made. First down, Ashdown. So Ashdown lined up for a punt. Ashdown lined up for a punt and faked it and got a big gain, and now they line up for a punt, and they get a roughing call against Arkadelphia. Major penalty. They're going to mark it off to the Arkadelphia 49-yard line.
And Shamar Easter took a tough hit at the end of that play, but I don't think he minds as he's able to help his team get another first down here on 4th down, indicating to his teammates there at the end of the play to get back on the field for offense.
There's a handoff. Fricks in the backfield cuts it up the field. Now he's got some yardage up to the Arkadelphia 43-yard line. He's an awfully good running back, all-conference player.
And he's got great field vision there as he was able to hit the hole and get some good yardage. Got some good footwork as well to try and extend the play that time. Good wrap-up in the open field for Arkadelphia, but not before Fricks has another solid gain for the Panthers.
Second down, 4 yards to go. Ashdown has some momentum now after, for the second time, they lined up to punt the ball and then got to keep it. McElroy has just checked in at quarterback. He jogged onto the field. Perhaps he is A-OK. We'll see. He is a good running quarterback, and he can throw the ball. Played running back last year. McElroy at quarterback gives him a really fine running threat, assuming that he is okay after being injured last week. Here's an end around. Winfrey hitting the backfield is going to lose yardage. Big play by Arkadelphia.
And Arkadelphia had that play read perfectly, and matters were complicated when the ball carrier runs into his own man trying to block for him in the backfield. Huge loss there for the Panthers. And again, they're facing 3rd and long, but as we've seen, Jeff, on this drive and the previous drive as well, Ashdown can extend that drive in tough situations just like these.
We thought we might see Jonathan McElroy tonight. He's a senior, 5'10", 190, dressed out. But he did not start the game, and yet he is in now at quarterback. On 3rd down and 8, back to pass. McElroy wants to fire it down the field. He does, but it's incomplete. May have been some miscommunication between he and the receiver. Nobody broke to the sideline, and that's where he threw the ball.
And Caden Winfrey was making some indications back to McElroy that time as if that ball was intended for him. But the ball was errant and landed in no man's land between 2 different receivers for Ashdown. And now yet again, the Panthers lining up to punt. But as we've seen tonight, 2 times this has resulted in Ashdown getting to extend the drive.
Arkadelphia will not send anyone deep. They'll simply play defense against a team that has faked a punt tonight and also picked up a first down on a roughing penalty. Not much rush this time. He'll get the kick away, and it's a very good kick. It will be allowed to bounce at the 13 to the 5. It's going to roll dead inside the 5. It's going to roll all the way to the 1. Arkadelphia gets the ball back, but Chase, what a chore this is going to be. First down at the 1.
99 yards to go, and Shamar Easter, we've talked about his talent on the offensive side of the ball, the defensive side of the ball. I think it's time to mention his talent on special teams there. Beautiful place kicking as he's able to get it all the way down inside the 1, as you mentioned. Now Arkadelphia is going to have their work cut out for them. Though this is an offense that we know that in these long situations can thrive and really find their momentum. This may be exactly the challenge that Arkadelphia needs to really get things going.
All right, can't have a negative yardage play here. You get the ball at the 1-yard line. In the shotgun is Donovan Whitten. There is no score in the game. First quarter, Whitten wants to pass. He'll roll out. He'll throw a pass. Complete to Reed to the 5 to the 10-yard line. It's 2nd down and 1. Good play by the Badgers.
Tendency breaker there for Arkadelphia. Most times when you see the ball inside the 1, defense is expecting the run, most definitely. But that time, Arkadelphia going to the pass, and it they profit from the decision.
Quickly another play, pass, that's a completion, first down. Trip Campbell on the catch, a run after the catch. We'll see where they spot him out of bounds on the far sideline. Going to be a first down for the Badgers regardless. They're going to spot it at the 18-yard line. 17 yards in 2 plays, and Arkadelphia can breathe a little bit. Now they're going to mark it, at the 18-yard line. First down and 10. Badgers try to start the play, and now they're going to throw a flag for procedure call. They actually had not set the first down markers on the far side. I think the Badgers thought the ball was in play, but they hadn't set up the first down markers yet, and maybe somebody moved. I didn't see that, but it's a 5-yard penalty and first down. Arkadelphia from the 13-yard line, 1st and 15. Now they'll look to the sideline to get the play. Kyle Reed is the running back in the game. 1 minute, 30 seconds left in the first quarter. Very eventful quarter, despite the fact that nobody has scored. Pass to the sideline, a good catch and a run by Trip Campbell. He's got some yardage before he's driven out of bounds. Ball spotted at the 23-yard line, so that's a nice gain. Second down coming.
Campbell running some excellent routes along the far sideline right now, and he will have to stay on the sideline for this next play as he lost his helmet there at the end of it.
If you're looking at the box right now, you're seeing third down, but it is second down, and the scoreboard has it correct. Now he fixes it. Second down for Arkadelphia. They'll need between 5 and 6. Running play and a loss. And they got back in the backfield very quickly, and there was nowhere for the runner to go. That time it was Purifoy in the game.
And Fondren again getting into the backfield and wrapping up the ball carrier for a significant loss. Fondren, a senior on this team and really one of the true leaders. You can tell it from the way that he talks to his teammates, just like he is right now. Really setting the tempo thus far for Ashdown's defense as we've got a momentary break in the action.
And the officials are having a conversation right at the football. It's third down, 12 yards to go. After the loss play, the Badgers have had more tackles for loss tonight go against them than we have seen throughout the season so far. Ashdown is a talented team. On third down and 12, now whistles blow, and I think we might have a timeout. Officials timeout. There's a conversation going on. Now they want to talk to Arkadelphia's head coach, Trey Shucker. He'd like to know what's going on. There was no penalty on that delay moments ago. And I think we'll go back to action here momentarily. It's a very good crowd tonight. Homecoming senior night here at Ashdown. A large home side crowd, and Arkadelphia has filled up the visitor side and more. A lot of people watching from the end zone tonight. This is quite a contest between a couple of talented 4A teams. Witten is back to pass. He'll throw deep. He throws long. He's looking for Hughes, and Hughes makes the catch, and it's pulled away by a defender just before he's able to fall to the ground. That was a very fine play by the defensive back who got a hand in there because it looked like Hughes would pull it down, got both hands on it, but Javon Allen pulled it away from Hughes, and it's fourth down.
Excellent coverage that time from the Panthers, as it was going to be a tough catch anyway for Latonio Hughes. He went up and got the ball and had it momentarily, but the DB just able to strip it away at the last second. Another crucial stop there for Ashdown.
Here's a kick, and it gets away from the Ashdown return man. He's going to have to let it roll. It'll roll inside the 20, all the way down to the 15-yard line. That is a beautiful job by Witten of flipping the field on Ashdown. They've got the ball back, but the Panthers are 85 yards away. 28 seconds left here in the first quarter, and Ashdown has it back, but Arkadelphia's defense has held Ashdown to 0 points, just as Ashdown's defense has held Arkadelphia to 0 points here almost all the way through the first quarter. Well, now I think, Chase, you're going to be able to see the field if you step out the door, maybe?
That's what I'm doing right now. It's going to be interesting to see. I can't necessarily see who's lining up right now at quarterback for the Panthers. We saw McElroy a few moments ago, but it looks like Horn is back out there again for the Panthers.
Horn is back out there, and they like his passing ability. We'll see if he'll do that from his own 15-yard line. They'll send Easter in motion, and they will do a double reverse. There's a little bit of room to run. Oh, but he'll stop and give up some space and be tackled and fumble the ball. It's loose. Arkadelphia picks it up. The Badgers have the football. Marvion Berry with the recovery.
And you can hear the collective groan from the home crowd right now, and you start to hear the cheers from the Arkadelphia side as Nick Williams able to trip up the ball carrier, and the ball pops out. Marvion Berry was right there to scoop it up. Got a little bit of a return at the end of the play, but Arkadelphia all of a sudden has the ball inside the red zone for the first time tonight.
That was a big-time defensive play. A mistake, I thought, by the on the double reverse to slow down and wait for a defender to run by, because it gave defenders time to catch up from the backside. They knocked the ball loose, and then Marvion Berry got there for the recovery. Arkadelphia with a nice opportunity now. 16 seconds left in the first quarter. Witten stands in the shotgun. Reed is his running back. Ball at the 18-yard line of Ashdown. Witten will run the ball. He's got yardage to the 15, to the 14. They're going to push and push and push. He's inside the 10. Witten all the way to, I don't know, he's under about 10 people. I think the 6 or 7.
Well, the Panthers earlier tonight showing that they can push the pile. Arkadelphia this time showing that they can do the exact same thing, able to extend the play with excellent effort all the way to the whistle, and it's good enough for a Welch Funeral Home first down.
I'm going to join you through the doorway so we can get a view of this. And the timeout, or not a timeout, but the end of the quarter has arrived. So Arkadelphia with a great scoring opportunity, and they're going to bring it to the side of the field where I can see it better. So thank you very much. End of the first quarter, it is Arkadelphia 0, Ashdown 0, and we're going to be back with a very exciting second quarter coming your way after this.
You belong at Patterson Federal Credit Union. No matter your financial needs, Patterson has products to help. We offer all types of accounts, savings, Christmas club, and a variety of checking accounts, including one specially tailored to teenagers. Certificates and IRAs are also available. If you're in need of a loan, we can help you with auto, recreation, personal, and home loans. Patterson Credit Union has several strategies to help build or repair credit, including our own credit card program, credit builder loans, and financial counseling. We're proud to have served Clark County for 65 years and look forward to many more years to come. Join us soon. You belong here.
We're at Dick Hayes Stadium where it's 0-0, Arkadelphia and Ashdown. A defensive battle so far, but Arkadelphia has recovered a fumble and driven down now in the first play after the fumble down to the 7-yard line, and it's 1st and goal for Arkadelphia. That was a Welch Funeral Home first down. We haven't had as many as usual in this game so far for Arkadelphia, but a very entertaining first quarter, brought to you, by the way, by Taylor King Law. Now into the second quarter, Turner, Rogers, Manning, and Plyler, our sponsor here in the second quarter. Donovan Witten is the quarterback. Next to him to his left is the sophomore Kyle Reed. On 1st and goal, Reed up the middle to the 3, to the 2. Good running by Kyle Reed, and Arkadelphia gets closer.
Good play call there for Arkadelphia as Kyle Reed, when he gets inside the 10-yard line, has great field vision and has enough burst to make some really big plays up the middle. We've seen him score several touchdowns that way already this season. Ashdown just able to trip him up that time short of the goal line, but Arkadelphia, I'm sure, has got to be happy with the result, a gain of about 4 or 5 yards there.
Official timeout momentarily because an Ashdown player lost his helmet. He'll leave the field and be replaced. Now Arkadelphia will line up. Just inside the 2, power formation. Witten is the quarterback. Looks like a quarterback sneak. It is. They're going to push. He's going to push. He's in there. Touchdown, Arkadelphia.
And after a defensive stalemate in the first quarter, Arkadelphia off to the races here in the second quarter with a Farm Bureau touchdown in the first minute. Again, just like we saw at the end of the first quarter, it was a strong push by the offensive line that allowed Witten to keep pushing forward, and that time he got all the way across the goal line for the first score of the ball game.
Brought Curry on for the extra point attempt. And they've got everything except the football. Now they get the football out there, and we're going to have an extra point attempt. Every kick going to be vitally important in this game. Arkadelphia has grabbed the first touchdown. 11:28 left in the second quarter. No scoring in the first quarter. Curry's done a super job as the kicker this year for Arkadelphia, and he's set. Babb is the holder. Good hold. The kick is up. The kick is good. And it's Arkadelphia 7, Ashdown 0. 11:28 left. We're in the second quarter tonight. Very exciting football game and a huge crowd here to see it in Ashdown. We'll be back with more action after this.
Whether you realize it or not, you see the work of Bats and Signs all around Arkadelphia. When you see the Badger equipment trailer on the way to a Badger game, Bats and Signs did that. When you're watching the Badgers, Tigers, or Reddies and see the signage that just really makes their facilities pop, Bats and Signs did that too. You see the signage in downtown Arkadelphia, on the campuses of Ouachita and Henderson, or the sign in your neighbor's yard supporting a candidate or their favorite Badger? Yep, Bats and Sign did that too. Longtime residents and supporters of all things Arkadelphia called Mark, Jared, Chris, or Ryan at Bats and Signs today to see what they can do for you.
Quarterback sneak made the difference for Arkadelphia. After a turnover, Ashdown turned it over on their own 18. Arkadelphia scored in 3 plays. Witten on a quarterback keeper from a couple of yards out. Now Arkadelphia will kick off. And so we'll have a Price & Company kickoff. Arkadelphia kicking off for the first time tonight. Ashdown will get the ball first in the third quarter, so Arkadelphia would love to continue to play great defense here in the second quarter, just like they did in the first. Here is a high kickoff, returnable from the 10-yard line. Return now, a double reverse on the return, but it won't go anywhere. Arkadelphia stayed in their lanes, made the tackle at the 18-yard line. The trickery did not work out.
And that time, Ashdown sticking to the game plan, even though the reverse didn't work out for them particularly well last time out. That's the play that caused the fumble earlier in the game, though that was more credit to the defense than the actual handoff. But there, Ashdown again, waiting for the defense to come to them, trying to fake some people out, but Arkadelphia not buying it, and now the Panthers are pinned back inside their own 20 to start out the drive.
I described that as a double reverse. It was really a double handoff, as Chase said, but not much of a gain after that second handoff. Ball at the 19-yard line, first down and 10 Ashdown, and Horn is the quarterback. He is back in at quarterback, and he will run it himself. And on first down, he's hit immediately, and I think he got a yard, but no more than that.
That was Cade McBride, who was able to scoop up the opening kickoff. We mentioned him playing linebacker. Great play there up the middle, stuffing the ball carrier after he got just about a yard, maybe 2 on that play. It looks like it's going to be 2nd and 8.
Second down, 8 yards to go it is. Jonathan McElroy, who was injured last week, did check in for just 1 series in the first quarter. Didn't start the game, and now he's not starting the second quarter either. They've got a good passer in Horn, and he'll line up in the shotgun with Jaden Fricks next to him, a really fine running back who's not had many carries so far. They want to throw the ball with Horn. He's under pressure. He fires it to the sideline. There's a catch by Winfrey, and he is immediately knocked out of bounds by Middleton, but the spot will be at the 29. That might be enough for a first down. Not every high school team, Chase, has a good backup quarterback, but Horn does a fine job of throwing the football.
You're absolutely right, Jeff. And what I noticed that time was the spiral on that ball. That was perfect form from Horn as he was able to find his man on the near sideline for the first down. The Panthers have a good man throwing the ball right now for them at quarterback. We'll see if they continue to go to him as this game progresses.
That's Shamar Easter at the top of the screen. Back to pass. Under pressure, he'll throw an incompletion over everybody's head and out of bounds. That was just good pressure.
And Arkadelphia's secondary has factored a lot early into this game, but that time it was more the pressure up front. We know that Arkadelphia can apply a lot of pressure, especially in the run game, but also in the passing game at times, really getting the quarterback out of rhythm. That was the case there, and now the Panthers going to have to deal with 2nd and long.
They're going to line up. Tight formation, 2 receivers to the short side of the field. And they are going to hand off to Fricks. Up the middle, he's hit immediately, and he's going to be brought down. What good work by several Badgers, led by Caden Young.
And Caden Young able to bounce off of his block very quickly there and able to bring the explosive Fricks down near the line of scrimmage. And, Jeff, one thing to notice early in this game is that Shamar Easter, you'll notice a lot of times that the Badgers will adjust based on to how he's lined up. That time they expected the run because he was in position as a blocker, but when he goes wide, you'll start to see them adjust more for the pass.
He is going to go wide this time to the top of your screen, 6'6", 225, and Brownlee's going to line up to guard him. Kind of on an island out there. Back to pass, Horn. Under some pressure, he wants to run. He will not make it back to the line of scrimmage. Loss of 1, and once again, good defensive line work. This time on the tackle was Jelias Solomon.
We talked about the senior leadership for Ashdown on their senior night, but this time it's a senior for the Badgers coming up with the stop here on 4th down. Just excellent all-around play there for the Arkadelphia defenses. The pressure was great up front, as you mentioned, Jeff, but also the secondary gave Horn no options downfield.
Purifoy is back deep to receive this kick. It's 4th down and 10 yards to go. Ashdown at its own 29-yard line. They have successfully tried a fake punt earlier in the game, but this is going to be a kick. And it's very high but short. Arkadelphia will try to get out of the way, but it does take an Ashdown bounce, and it will go across the 50 and be downed at the Arkadelphia 42-yard line. Still, Arkadelphia, good field position, Chase, and a chance now, if they can get this drive moving, going to feel a little bit better if the Badgers can lead by 2 touchdowns in the second quarter after really some great offensive and defensive work, I should say defensive work by Ashdown.
And credit that nice field position in part there to Nick Williams on that last play. He was able to get through, and I think he spooked Shamar Easter a bit as he kicked that ball, ended up going higher than he would have anticipated, and ends up taking still a friendly bounce for the Panthers, but it didn't go as far as he probably would have liked, as it's now at about the 41-yard line for Arkadelphia.
Purifoy is the running back, but he will not get the carry. Instead, it's Whitten. He'll break a tackle, fall forward, and pick up maybe a yard, but it was well defended that time by Ashdown. Gain of 1, 2nd down 9 for the Badgers. We're in the second quarter, 8:12 left. Clock running. Badgers lead at 7-0. And everybody's moving before the snap. I think that's going to go against Arkadelphia. Procedure call. We had offensive players moving. We had defensive players moving, but the ball just didn't get snapped. So 2nd down and 14 coming now. Spot the ball at the 38-yard line of Arkadelphia. Good field position. They don't want to waste this. 3 receivers top of the field. Top of your screen to the right at the line of scrimmage. And that's Trip Campbell by himself on the short side of the field, bottom of your screen. Donovan Whitten scored a touchdown on the last possession. High snap this time. He will get the pass away. Good. It's completed to Purifoy. Purifoy will step out of bounds. He lost a couple of yards by taking a step out of bounds before he just ran over a defender. But it's still a gain out to the 48-yard line. Arkadelphia needs 4 more. It's 3rd down.
And credit Donovan Whitten there for his composure. That high snap there could have thrown him out of stride, but he caught it right in stride and was able to throw a nice pass for a good gain.
Purifoy lines up in the slot to the left, bottom of your screen. In the slot at the very bottom of your screen is Trip Campbell. The running back is Kyle Reed. Back to pass. Whitten throws a short pass. That's complete. And some yardage after the catch for Hughes to the 45-yard line of Ashdown. That's a 1st down and 10.
Just a short, effective route that time from Hughes, and he's able to extend the play with his field vision. Crucial Welch Funeral Home 1st down there for the Badgers as they try to keep the momentum rolling.
Back to pass. Whitten looks deep down the field. He throws it deep, but he cannot quite get the ball to Hughes. About 5 yards too long. He was hurried on the play and threw it deep, but Hughes couldn't get to it.
Now, we mentioned that pressure from Ashdown. Maybe haven't seen it as much in recent plays, but that time the Panthers able to mount a nice attack up front. And that was enough to disrupt Whitten to the point where he threw the ball a little bit farther probably than he would have liked to, as he did have Antonio Hughes coming over the middle that time on a nice route. Arkadelphia does have to like, though, how Hughes is getting separation from his man in those big plays like that. Just hasn't worked out up to this point.
The safety is checked out, and Easter is in to play safety on this play. Whitten under pressure, rolls to his left. A flag down, another flag down. He's going to be hit and sacked back at the 49-yard line of Arkadelphia. There are 2 flags down, both of them at about the 50-yard line. They might be for the same penalty. One would think this might be a blocking penalty against Arkadelphia. We'll see. The sack, though, the spot's all the way back to the 47-yard line of Arkadelphia, so quite a loss on 2nd down. Holding is declined. They'll take the play. So it's 3rd down. Arkadelphia from its own 47-yard line. They've got to make it to the 35-yard line of Ashdown for a 1st and 10.
And here at the end of the play, Ashdown, it looks like the coaching staff is trying to argue that maybe there was a fumble at the end of the play. Referee says that Whitten was out of bounds. Either way, though, Badgers with their backs against the wall here, 3rd and long. They're going to have 4 wide this time, and it looks like Reed is going to stay with Whitten in the backfield, at least initially.
Hughes, Babb, and Purifoy, top of the screen. Campbell, bottom of the screen. Running back is Kyle Reed. The quarterback, of course, Donovan Whitten. Third down and very long for Arkadelphia. 4-man rush coming at the quarterback. He'll step up. He wants to throw. He's still behind the line of scrimmage. He will throw a complete pass, and if he gets a good spot, it's going to be a first down. And he does not get a great spot, but it might be a first down anyway. Yeah, he missed that spot by about a half yard, but I think it's enough anyway. It is. First down and 10. Wow, what a pass. What a scramble.
Whitten that time again, keeping his composure to again get the Welch Funeral Home first down.
They're moving the chains a little slowly. Arkadelphia would like to snap it, and they do. Back to pass Whitten. He is under pressure. He'll throw it short and incomplete. And so it's second down and 10. Ball at the 35-yard line of Ashdown. Badgers leading 7-0. Would dearly love to stretch that to a 2-score lead here in the second quarter. Still a lot of time left, though. We're just midway through the second quarter tonight. On second down, a running play. This is Reed. He's got some room to the 30, to the 29-yard line if they'll give him that spot. Well, they'll mark it at the 29. Good spot. And so it is third down, 4 yards to go. 4-down territory, one would assume, though. 2 plays to make 4 yards. And a whistle blows. Timeout. Timeout called by Ashdown. And so we're going to take a break. Arkadelphia on the move, trying to keep the drive alive on third down when we come back. 6:29 left, second quarter. Arkadelphia 7, Ashdown 0. We'll be back after this.
Imagine a place where children can feel safe, a place where kids are empowered and accepted. In this place, you are special. You are unique. You are loved. Imagine a place where you can have fun every single day. We are that place.
The Arkadelphia High School Band is filing out of the stands to begin to get ready for their halftime show. We're going to bring you that halftime show. Man, the band is on some kind of a roll, doing very well in competitions, and we'll be glad to bring you that halftime show here in just a few minutes. A lot of football between now and then, though. 6:29 left. We're in the second quarter tonight. Arkadelphia 7 and Ashdown 0. Also at halftime, we hope to bring you Jason Jones. I think we'll have time for Jason to visit with us. He is the athletic director for Arkadelphia and director of the Arkadelphia Promise, and we'll have a conversation with him. On third down and 4, Arkadelphia lines up. Whitten back to pass. He's got a little bit of time. He will throw. He's got an open receiver. It is incomplete. The throw led him into the defense, and Babb was hit just as the ball got there at the 5-yard line. And so it is fourth down and 4.
And that is Malik Muldrew, the senior, who made the play in the secondary for Ashdown. He got a little bit of help from Shamar Easter there to try and cover Babb, but as you mentioned, Jeff, that time the ball just thrown right into the line of fire. Ashdown able to cause the disruption, and now Arkadelphia faced with a 4th and medium.
Fourth down, 4 yards to go. Arkadelphia rolling to his left is Whitten. He's going to run. He's going to be hit. He will be hit. He will fly to the 26. I think he is going to be about he's a little bit short. Ashdown's going to take over as they hit him low, and when he landed, he was at the 26. Needed the 25 for a first down.
Looked like that was Dell Robinson, another senior for Ashdown, making the play there as Whitten did a good job of trying to extend the play even though he was sent up into the air.
Yeah, they're going to mark it now at the 27-yard line. If he had hit him high, Whitten would have carried him to the first down marker, but he hit him low, and he landed on a shoulder pad, apparently hitting at the 27 before the rest of him hit at the 26-yard line. Any way you look at it, a little bit short of the first down. So Ashdown has the ball back, trailing by 7. Arkadelphia sends its defense back out onto the field. Horn is the quarterback. He's got the ability to throw the ball, and he wants to throw it on first down. He'll throw it to the sideline. That's a catch at the 31-yard line.
Short, effective route there for the Panthers. There was some good coverage in the secondary that time, as Kelburn Middleton was in coverage that time. Also helping him was linebacker Zane Thomason.
Braden Walton made that catch. He's only a sophomore. Back in the game, by the way, is Winfrey, who was injured on that previous play when they fumbled the ball, but he's all right and back in the football game. A very dangerous receiver with 10 catches against Arkadelphia last year. In motion comes Shamar Easter. He's going to block. There's a running play as they send McElroy back in to play quarterback here on second down. McElroy is going to gain yardage up to the 34-yard line, and it's 3rd down and 3. He looked pretty healthy on that play, but he's going to check out now, and Horn will check in. No, he's going to, well, Horn will come back out. He wanted to go in, and they're going to pull him back out. So staying in the game is Jonathan McElroy. 3 blocking backs in the formation. Let's see if McElroy will run it on 3rd down and 4. He will, but he'll run to his left. He's going to be hit, and he's going to be stopped, but I think he might stretch for a 1st down. I think he did. 1st down. Or will they measure it? I guess they're going to measure. I think he's going to have it, but they are going to measure. The officials want to make sure. Interesting, we're seeing a starting quarterback who's not fully back yet, Chase, but they do bring him in certain spots, and that time they let him run the ball, and he was able to make an extra yard or 2 after contact, and we think he made a 1st down. In fact, he did. 1st down and 10, Ashdown at its own 37-yard line.
And McElroy, as you mentioned, Jeff, stepping up in a huge situation. You know the Panthers had to know that a lot of momentum was riding on that play, as now they can continue this drive, trying to look for the equalizing score. But Ashdown also probably wanting to limit McElroy because they know that a potential playoff run is in their future, and they want to have him healthy for that as well, want to have him 100% for those games down the stretch.
Arkadelphia lines up defensively. 2 receivers at the top of the screen for Ashdown. They are going to hand it off. This is Fricks. He's got a little bit of room, but not much, and he almost dropped the ball as he was headed to the ground at the 40-yard line. Gain of 3, 2nd down and 7. He's a really fine running back. You hold him to 3 yards, and that's an achievement.
And Fricks looked very explosive on those first few drives, but he's been slowed down a little bit by some excellent coverage up front by Arkadelphia's defense. The secondary also coming in and applying some additional pressure along with the linebacking unit. So we'll see if Arkadelphia can continue to try and at least neutralize Fricks as this game goes along.
Walton is the receiver at the top of the screen. Winfrey at the bottom of the screen. The quarterback once again now is Horn. He is going to hand it off. Oh, there's a little room around the left end, but immediately Arkadelphia will cover it, and Fricks only gets about 2, maybe 3 yards. 3rd down coming. I'm going to spot it at the 42-yard line. They need another 5 yards, maybe just a hair more than 5. Horn stays in at quarterback. McElroy standing by his coach. I think he'd like to go back in the game, but he's not in this time. As Horn, who has run the ball a couple of times but has shown a very good arm as a passer, maybe a passing situation now. 3rd down and between 5 and 6. Horn backs up. He wants to throw it under pressure immediately. He fires a completed pass and a 1st down at the 50-yard line. What a good job. Winfrey with the catch. That's just a fine pass under heavy pressure.
Arkadelphia did a lot of things right on that play. Almost got to the quarterback, but credit Horn that time for resisting the pressure, making a nice pass, and that's going to be good enough for a 1st down that'll keep the drive alive for the Panthers. Eating up a lot of clock on this drive, but at the same time moving the ball down the field effectively.
Horn, you're not seeing things, is number 27, not a normal number for a quarterback, but he played other positions until the injury to McElroy. Now at quarterback, he's looking very strong. Under a lot of pressure, he's going to roll to his right. He'll throw downfield. Oh, that's a completion to the Arkadelphia 40 to the 38-yard line. What a beautiful pass and a good break on the ball by Mason Washington. Let me correct that. They got a double number here. Boy, announcers hate double numbers. That is Tramiel Williams on the catch. Ball at the 36-yard line of Arkadelphia. Ashdown is on the move to try to tie this game up. Quarterback is Horn. Running back is Fricks. 2 receivers both to the short side of the field. Running play. Fricks looking for somewhere to go and just not finding it. I tell you what, that Arkadelphia defense, the interior line looking awfully good again. On the inside, we're talking about Wimberly leading a couple of other Badgers.
We've alluded to Fricks's explosiveness when he gets into space. That time, no space to speak of. And Arkadelphia, again, doing a solid job of stopping Ashdown's running back here before he can really do any damage. Now the Panthers facing second and long on what has been a very effective drive thus far.
Same formation on second down and 10. Two receivers both to the short side of the field at the bottom of your screen. They're going to run it to the wide side with Fricks, but he's going to be hit. He'll push and pull and make some yardage, but third down is coming. They're going to need at least 5 more, maybe 6. We'll see where they spot it. Yeah, they're going to need 6 more. Third down and 6 for the Panthers. I'm sure in 4-down territory. We're down to 2:14 left in the first half. Ashdown does get the ball first in the third quarter, so Arkadelphia certainly wants to maintain this lead before the second half rolls around. Easter is the back behind the tight end to the left side, top of the screen. Dangerous player. They're going to do a double handoff and give it to Easter. Easter at 6'6", 225 has nowhere to go. Arkadelphia has 3-4 Badgers on top of him. And that's a short gain, if any. They're going to mark it at the 31. It's third down and 5. Fourth down. And now they mark it at the 32-yard line. Fourth down and 6.
And it looked like that time the double reverse backfired a little bit as there was more space to the left side, but they give it off to Easter. Easter did a good job of trying to get some yardage on to the right side, but Arkadelphia making the right read there in the end. And it's going to be fourth and fairly long, fourth and medium, most would say here for the Panthers.
Easter, top of your screen. Winfrey, bottom of your screen, the two most dangerous receivers. Timeout has been called by Ashdown. They want to talk about it. Ashdown has only one timeout left, 1 minute, 9 seconds left before halftime. They'll talk about what they'd like to do, and we'll keep it right here. Chase, it would appear to me that we might see another one of those patented passes from Horn to the sideline. He's had some success with that earlier in the game.
And that's been his bread and butter, as you mentioned, Jeff, all the way through this first half. It hasn't always worked out, as Arkadelphia has provided some solid coverage in the secondary, but those plays really, when the Panthers have their backs against the walls, that's like what they like to go to. And they've had a pretty good success rate up to this point. But you got to give credit to the Badgers defense. They've really stepped up when it counted, and this is, again, one of those plays where it really counts as there's just over a minute to go in the first half. One thing that Ashdown's also got to consider, too, is the amount of time that they're taking up on the clock right now. Just over a minute to go. This offense has been moving the ball effectively, but they've been moving it slower than usual than we've seen on these first couple of drives. Perhaps time being the enemy here against the Panthers as they try to pick up an equalizing score prior to the break.
Ashdown has fourth down and 6 at the Arkadelphia 32-yard line. 1 minute, 9 seconds left in the second quarter. Arkadelphia leading 7-0. And a huge, huge capacity crowd ready to watch this fourth down play. Horn at quarterback. He wants to pass. Looks to the sideline. Now he looks deep. Ooh, he throws a duck deep. Let's see who's going to catch it, and a flag goes down. Where the receiver tried to come back to the ball, and the defender hadn't turned around yet to look for it. He did, but only after he had bumped the receiver, and it's unfortunate because that was not a great pass from Horn. And also a roughing the passer penalty, so we've got a couple of calls against Arkadelphia. Oh, goodness gracious. Hit the quarterback a little bit late, and a pass interference call because the fluttering pass fell short of the receiver, and when he tried to get it, he bumped into a Badger. That was made for an interception, double coverage on the play, but they just didn't turn around quickly enough, and the ball fell short. So, first down, Ashdown at the Arkadelphia 17-yard line. Wow, a turn of events in 5 seconds. 1:04 left in the second quarter. Arkadelphia trying to hold on to its 7-0 lead, but Ashdown will send Horn back in. Play quarterback. Jonathan McElroy has not played many snaps, but has played some tonight. He's their normal starting quarterback, but was injured last week. He'll spread out the formation this time. And on first down, Horn wants to pass. He's looking to the end zone. He'll throw to the end zone. It is incomplete, almost intercepted at the 1-yard line. Oh, my goodness. A couple of Badgers ran into each other, and the receiver almost caught the ball as well, Chase, but couldn't hold on to it.
Excellent coverage that time over the middle for the Badgers. It was a good play on the ball by the wide receiver. Latonio Hughes is the man in coverage who forces the ball loose, and it was tipped up in the air almost to where another man could get it for the Badgers, and that was Lamont Jones, but he was just out of his reach that time. Still, though, a huge sigh of relief there for Arkadelphia after what could have been a scoring play there for Ashdown.
Ashdown will change its formation, send Easter in motion. 3 receivers now on the left side. Back to pass. Horn will look to the left. He'll fire it and knock down an incomplete. Really fine defensive work that time.
That's Cade McBride with the deflection, following the ball all the way. Wasn't quite in a position to corral the ball, but he was able to bat it away effectively. And now the Panthers lose another down here. It's 3rd and long.
Still 55 seconds left. Clock not that much of a factor so much as down at distance right now. It is 3rd down and 10 yards to go. They can make a first down. Ball is at the 17-yard line of Arkadelphia after the pass interference call.
They're not going to send Easter wide this time. They're going to have him block on the left side.
And they will fake a run and throw it. And an open receiver at the 10. He's hit at the 5. That's going to be enough for a first down inside the 5-yard line.
Ashdown that time with a bit of a tendency breaker is usually where you see Shamar Easter lining up. That's the side of the field that they want to go to. That time they line up Shamar Easter on the opposite side as a decoy. That allowed for the catch on the near side, and it's enough for a first down for the Panthers, now 1st and goal.
Ball spotted at the 5-yard line. Williams on the catch. He'll check out as his helmet came off. Easter, dangerous in this spot on the field on the left side, but a running play in Fricks makes some yardage now, bounces and scores. Touchdown Ashdown. They're 1 extra point away from tying this up with 22 seconds left before halftime.
And there is a Panther down on the field, but we talk again about Fricks. We know about his playmaking ability. That time he got just enough space. He was able to use the space to his advantage, able to make some men miss on the way into the end zone. Not only using his field vision that time, but the footwork as well as a little bit of power to get that last yard. And Ashdown with the chance to try and tie it up here with the PAT following this timeout for an injury.
Yeah, one of the linemen comes up limping for Ashdown, but that was a good run by Fricks. His best run of the night, a 5-yard touchdown run with only 22 seconds left in the half. Now we'll see if they make the extra point and tie this thing up. Once again, Ashdown has the ball first in the 3rd quarter. So Ashdown will line up. We'll make a substitution on the offensive line. And we are going to see an extra point attempt from Michael McElroy. Left-footed kicker. Now they're going to line up in an unusual formation, so we'll see if they'll fake this and go for 2 or if he indeed is going to see the offensive line move and the kick. Arkadelphia lines up to defend the play. Easter, one of the receivers at the bottom of your screen. And they are going to fake it. Here's the pass. It is deep in the end zone, and it is incomplete. Incomplete. Now, the Ashdown crowd would really like pass interference in the back of the end zone. That ball was thrown well out of bounds. And so Arkadelphia is going to have the lead at halftime, and unless something crazy happens in the last 22 seconds, it's 7-6 Arkadelphia, and the Badgers are about to line up for the kick. Sideline warning on Ashdown. I think there was some hope for a moment that was a late interference call, but that's not the case. They just simply warned the sideline. That got a little exercised, but that ball was very, very deep and looked like it was uncatchable even for the 6'6 receiver.
And that time they lined up most of the line on the far side, perhaps trying to be, or perhaps they were trying to look for a little bit of a decoy again, like we kind of saw with Easter lining up farther away from the ball. But that time the decoy didn't work out as Arkadelphia kept 3 men against really 1 lineman that time for Ashdown on the 2-point conversion. They decided to throw the ball. Good coverage by Kelburn Middleton, and the quarterback had nowhere to go. He tried to get it to Easter in that far corner, but again, Excellent coverage, excellent pressure up front by Arkadelphia, capitalizing on the mismatch, that 3-on-1 situation. And now Ashdown trailing by 1. And, Jeff, you talked about those PATs and those two-point conversions. This is, again, where they can come into play, as Arkadelphia now with a potential advantage where there could have been a tie going into the break.
Ashdown will always line up in some unusual formation, so it looks like they could onside kick this. But, no, it looks now like they're going to spread out, and so Arkadelphia will spread out its team. Badgers have scouted that well, and they're prepared for that eventuality. And so it looks like it might see a regular kickoff here from McElroy. He puts his left foot into it. It's a long kickoff, returnable, and this is Hughes. Hughes to the 20, 25-30, big hole. He's to the 40. He's to the 45-50. He's got to beat Winfrey. He'll make a move. He will be slung down at the 29-yard line. 12 seconds remain, and Whitten has time to fire the ball to the end zone a few times.
And we've seen Latonio Hughes take it to the house before this season. Looking like a similar situation there. Credit Winfrey for never giving up on that play. He's able to cause a momentary hesitation there from Latonio Hughes trying to fake him out, but he made a great wrap-up. Still, though, Arkadelphia with great field position to try and run at least one, maybe even two plays here. And still 2 timeouts remaining for Arkadelphia, so a chance to do some additional damage prior to the break.
At the 29-yard line of Ashdown, the half is not over yet. 12 seconds for Arkadelphia. The Badgers lead at 7-6. Arkadelphia lines up. They do have a running back in the backfield. 3 receivers on the far side. They'll throw it short and incomplete. Trying to get it to Hughes with blockers in front of him, but it's incomplete. That will steal 3 seconds. The Badgers have 9 seconds left. Arkadelphia will change the formation. Purifoy, Babb, and Trip Campbell to the bottom of your screen. Hughes at the top of the screen by himself, short side of the field. Whitten is the quarterback. His running back will go out for a pass, but he wants to throw it. Under pressure, he'll fire it, and it is caught. Arkadelphia does have a timeout. Good catch by Babb, and a timeout has been called with 2 seconds left. The ball's on the 19-yard line. But a flag down and another holding call against Arkadelphia. The Badgers have had a few of those as Whitten has been trying to buy time. Not surprising that that's going to happen on occasion. And it happens at a tough time right now. Instead of the ball at the 18-yard line, they're going to back it up all the way to the Ashdown 41-yard line. And we'll see what Arkadelphia decides to do with the last 2 seconds of the first half. D'Angelo Buckley has checked in at running back for Arkadelphia on this series. Babb coming to the bottom of the screen by himself. Trip Campbell, Bailey, and Hughes top of the screen. 2 defenders are standing at the 11-yard line. Under pressure, Whitten will fire it deep, and he'll get it to the end zone. There's a crowd there, Hail Mary, and does anybody have the catch? No, it's incomplete. He got it all the way to the end zone. That was a great pass, but no Badger and no Panther could come down to it, and the great mass of players down in the end zone. And so at halftime, it's Arkadelphia 7 and Ashdown 6. A huge crowd here tonight for homecoming senior night here in Ashdown. 3-4 deep in the end zone. Arkadelphia, a huge crowd on the visitor side, and they've seen a well-contested game, not free of mistakes and not much scoring, but Arkadelphia does lead at halftime 7-6. We'll be back with a halftime show sponsored by Southern Bancorp after this.
Rise Counseling and Diagnostics is a member of the Pediatrics Plus family and offers behavioral health services to children, teens, and families. Their goal is to identify and address the needs of every client individually for their emotional, intellectual, social, and academic goals. Rise provides an array of individual and family counseling services as well as learning disability testing. You can receive services at the Pediatrics Plus Arkadelphia Clinic on 702 Hickory here in Arkadelphia or via telehealth. To learn more about how they can serve your family, visit riseforfamilies.com.
Everyone's known for something. Ours is simple. At the Southwest Auto Collection and iDriveSWA.com, you get the absolute lowest price on America's best brands. Ford, Lincoln, Chevy, GMC, Buick, and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. The best selection and the lowest prices guaranteed. And we deliver anywhere in the state, plus tires for life. It really is that simple. Visit us today, the Southwest Auto Collection, I-30 exit 78 in Arkadelphia, or online at idriveswa.com.
Welcome to the Southern Bancorp halftime show. Chris Babb here as the Arkadelphia High School Badger Pride Marching Band getting ready to lead things off at this halftime of their competition show. They will be in Siloam Springs tomorrow. Man, what a trip. For Southwest Arkansas tonight, or Northwest Arkansas tomorrow. So this is their competition show, and we'll turn it over to Steve Patterson. We do notice that the band does not have all of their props tonight. You know, the saloon in the background and the cacti, I guess proper would be cacti, that they roll out. So they're just going to play the show, and we'll enjoy the Arkadelphia High School Badger Pride Marching Band.
Ladies and gentlemen, Arkadelphia Public Schools are proud to present the Arkadelphia High School Badger Pride Marching Band. Arkadelphia's musical selections include the following, titled The West That Was, featuring the music of Michael Jackson's Earth Song, Cody Fry's Underground, the band Kansas and Dust in the Wind, Ennio Morricone's The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and the Johnny Cash hit, Ring of Fire. Soloists are Isla Frazier, Sarah Miller, Jared Campbell, Michaela Gentry, and Calvin Clardy. Ladies and gentlemen, Arkadelphia Schools are proud to present for your halftime entertainment, Drum Major Jancy Thomas and the Arkadelphia High School Badger Pride Marching Band.
That was the Arkadelphia High School Badger Pride Marching Band performing their halftime competition show, and they will be on the road tomorrow morning, headed out to Siloam Springs in northwest Arkansas for their competition. They got all ones at their regional assessment Tuesday night in Hot Springs at Lakeside High School, so they qualified for the state marching competition. Chris Babb here with Jason Jones. Jason, the director of the Arkadelphia Promise and the interim athletic director for the Arkadelphia Public School District for the 2022-23 school year. Jason, thanks for joining us. It's obviously we at halftime of football. We've got band going on, but let's talk about some of the other fall sports. It's been a busy fall, as every fall is. We've got the start with Lady Badger volleyball. The ninth grade team finished third in their tournament, missing the championship match by just a little bit in the semis, but the varsity Lady Badger volleyball team is the third seed in the 4A state tournament, which will be Tuesday at Brooklyn. And those ladies had a nice regular season, and they drew a tough task in Farmington in the first round, but it's been a good season for volleyball.
Volleyball's been really solid. They're looking forward to taking on a 5A school in the 4A state tournament in the first round, and we wish them well. Also, we mentioned golf and tennis. Tennis district champions, a good showing at the state tennis tournament. I believe Sawyer Grimm and Tyler Bobo made it in the doubles bracket. And then also you mentioned golf. Conference championship, Steve Patterson, Golf Coach of the Year, and Gray Manning made the overall, not just the 4A state tournament, but they made the overall. And so it's been a cross country is also. So any day of the week, there is a good chance that you're going to be able to find an Arkadelphia Badger or Lady Badger sporting event to go to or follow. I say any day of the week you're going to find 3 athletic events you can attend, because it seems like there's always 2 or 3 going on at any given day, other than Wednesdays and Sundays.
Yeah, it is quite a busy schedule. It doesn't lighten up either. The winter sports are getting going. Swim team was in the pool last night, I saw, at Ouachita's pool practicing. The basketball teams will get in action here in a couple of weeks. And then we still have a lot of football and band left. So is there anything to do in the life of an athletic director, as I say that with an evil smile on my face towards you?
Yeah, I work on Promise scholarships and dealing with all the colleges and universities. That's my primary task, and it's been a really busy fall with that. When you add in the extra, especially the extra evening hours involved in all the athletics.
Right.
Stuff.
Let's talk about the Arkadelphia Promise. A lot of times we have you on before this point in the season, but the Arkadelphia Promise, supporting a lot of Arkadelphia high school graduates. And one thing I think we talk about it a lot, but I just want to make sure people know it's not just for universities. You have students in trade schools and different areas other than four-year colleges that take advantage of the Arkadelphia Promise.
We've got kids doing all sorts of training right now, from electrical lineman training to electrician training. We have a couple working on their plumber's license, so welding. I had a student, well, actually a parent, contact me and say, hey, my son just graduated and he's got his first job and he's making $48 an hour, and he makes double time when he goes over 40 hours, and he worked 72 hours last week. So like the amount of money that this kid, this 18, 19-year-old is making is pretty incredible, just from doing the welding.
Talk about the process. Students have to apply. You do have to fill out. It's not a detailed application, but they're for seniors of the class of 2023. What should parents and family and any seniors who are watching tonight kind of have in their mind for preparing for this season, as graduation is just about 7 or 8 months away?
The first thing to do is to get the 19 on the ACT, and then past that, the application process is literally one page, and we don't even open that up until January. This time of year, what we're really talking about is the FAFSA and the Arkansas Challenge application. The FAFSA being the most, I won't say difficult, but probably time-consuming. And most people sit down and do the FAFSA and the Arkansas Challenge together and kind of knock those two big ones out. And then really from there, it's just looking for all those little scholarships that everybody wants, that they sometimes think magically appear. There aren't as many as there were probably when I was growing up, but when you have somebody that's wanting to go do to a certain school that's maybe more expensive than what the family feels like they can really afford. They're looking for every dime they can find. And, of course, the Arkadelphia Promise, definitely helps a lot of those kids just because, the freshman scholarship is $6,000.
Let's talk about the FAFSA and the importance of it. I think we talk about it every year, but I would also imagine that if you don't have a senior or junior in high school, it may be something you say, oh, that's nice. And then you get to the point where you do have a junior or senior, so I wish I knew had paid attention, kind of like kids in class every once in a while.
That's right.
Kind of explain to us what the FAFSA is and why that is so important.
Yeah, the number one thing the FAFSA does is it lets the colleges know if you're qualifying for Pell Grant, work study, but really Pell Grant is the big one. It's over $7,000 a year, and that's such a big part of a lot of our students' financial capability to be able to pay for college. And whether it's going to a private school and using that Pell Grant, or whether it's going to a state school, a 4-year school or a 2-year school, it's just a large chunk of money. And then you can qualify for that full Pell Grant and still get some assistance from the Arkadelphia Promise. It's not the full amount, but it's still a good little piece to help put that puzzle together. And then there are other scholarships and grants that the FAFSA can help let your college know what you might qualify for.
Let's talk about the ACT a little bit. A lot of universities are not requiring the ACT anymore.
Right.
After COVID, it got to a point where some colleges are not accepting that. And so that may mean someone thinking, well, I don't have to take it. Yeah. However, it is still required for the Arkadelphia Promise or the Arkansas Challenge, therefore the Arkadelphia Promise as well.
And the main thing, it's like you don't have to take it, but if you want all this scholarship money, you do have to take it, because most of the scholarships are still tied to the ACT. Maybe not all, but so many of them are. And some universities have tiers of scholarships that aren't tied to ACT, but are tied to GPA and class rank. But the ACT is still very important to access the maximum amount of money you can try to get.
All right, it is the middle of October, towards the end of October. What are families of seniors, what should they be focusing on right now as they begin that process?
Well, number one, what school does your child want to go to? If they don't know, go visit. I'm always amazed at how many kids, will tell me here in the next several weeks as I start to meet with them, they want to go to University X. Oh, well, that's exciting. What do you like about it? Oh, I hadn't been there yet. Well, that's a bad thing. You need to go visit that university in person, not just take your buddy's word for it that might be a year older than you. Go and visit and get to know those universities and the professors, and then on top of that, just the process of the FAFSA and the Arkansas Challenge, and making sure you're getting your due diligence done in the classroom for your senior year.
All right, Jason Jones with the Arkadelphia Promise, thank you for stopping by at halftime. The Ashdown Band, the clock has stopped on the scoreboard about a minute and a half ago, so don't know how much time we have left, but we will go ahead and they're going to go ahead and run the 3 minutes. And so we will take another break, and when we come back, we'll have Jeff Root, Chase Hartzell on the call of the second half. It is halftime, the Southern Bancorp halftime show. Arkadelphia leads Ashdown 7-6. And we will be back with that second half after we return. You're watching Arkadelphia Badger TV you're watching Arkadelphia Badger football on ArkadelphiaBadgerTV.com. We'll be back after this.
At Southern Bancorp, we are wealth builders for everyone. We see building wealth as helping people succeed in creating strong financial futures. For some, it's having tools to build credit and buy a first home. For others, working with our award-winning SBA team to launch or grow a small business. And still others might use our unique savings plan today to save for tomorrow's dreams. Wherever you are on your wealth building journey, Southern Bancorp can help. Stop by or visit banksouthern.com to get started. Southern Bancorp, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hey, I didn't order any pizza.
Jake from State Farm. After you saved me so much dough on insurance with that Parker promo, I devised a promo for you.
Here's the deal, Parker. State Farm offers everyone surprisingly great rates.
Right. Pepperoni pockets, cuckoo crusties.
There's no promo, it's just great rates.
And a cider ranch.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Austin Wingfield in Arkadelphia today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Under perfect conditions, your car traveling at 65 miles per hour can stop in about 300 feet. That's the length of a football field.
But a fully loaded tractor trailer, one that weighs 80,000 pounds, will take 2 football fields to stop. And that's if the driver is rested, paying attention, and the truck and load is properly maintained.
If you're in an accident with a big truck, call 1-800-CAR-WRECK.
Get the experienced team that's going to be on your side, by your side.
Price & Company Insurance is the area's only trusted choice independent insurance agency. What is that, you might ask? An independent insurance agency works for you, the customer, and not the insurance companies. So the next time you're shopping for home, auto, business, life, or health insurance, we invite you to experience an unprecedented level of customer service and expertise. Call or click for a quote today.
Arkadelphia 7 and Ashdown 6. We're at Dickey Stadium in Ashdown, where a huge crowd is seeing a well-contested game. Not a game free of mistakes, though. And Arkadelphia has a 1-point lead, but Ashdown will have the ball first here when we begin the second half in just a few moments. Arkadelphia has been warming up on the field. Ashdown has completed its warm-up. Both teams coming to the sideline, and so we'll have second half action very soon. Jim Rothwell's stats tell us that it's been a very good first half for the backup quarterback for Ashdown. He's completed numerous passes, 12 of 14. That is Carson Horn, the junior quarterback, who is the backup for the injured Jonathan McElroy, but he is a well-prepared backup and had a good first half. And yet, it took a score on the last possession for Ashdown to pull within 1 point of Arkadelphia. They went for 2 on a trick play, did not make it, and so Arkadelphia has the 1-point lead here at halftime. Ashdown, though, very talented team. A lot of enthusiasm with this huge crowd here for homecoming and also senior night in Ashdown. A full home side. In the end zone, we're seeing 2, 3 deep in the end zone watching the game. Of course, the other end zone to my right is a school building. So everybody watching from the end zone gathered on one side of the stadium, and it's a thick, thick crowd over there and a full house on the visitor side for Arkadelphia. So huge crowd here for this game between two awfully talented teams. Arkadelphia trying to stay undefeated, and Ashdown trying to come off of a 2-game losing streak, which was a surprise for this very talented Ashdown team. Arkadelphia is set to kick off. Brock Curry is set to do the kicking. This is Jeff Root along with me. Chase Hartzell. Chase, we're going to see an outstanding second half.
That's all going to start here with Brock Curry. Now, we've seen him use the onside kick in some unexpected situations. Don't know if we'll see it here, but we'll find out in just a few moments.
Here's the kick. Curry puts a foot into it. It's a high kick, returnable, and will be returned from the 16-yard line up the middle, looking for a place to go. He'll escape one tackler and then be brought down from behind. Flags go down. Let's see if we might see a face mask penalty. Strong tackle at the 26-yard line, but 2 flags went down immediately on or after the tackle. It was Malik Muldrew on the kick return for Ashdown. Arkadelphia has played well, has played hard, but they have made mistakes to hold them to 7 points. Ashdown has made its share of mistakes also. They're going to mark this off against Ashdown, and so it's not a face mask on the tackle, but a blocking penalty against Ashdown, and they're going to lose some field position as a result, back to the 17-yard line.
Well, and Jeff, you talked about examples and how that's killed the momentum at times for both of these teams. Another case right here of a penalty really setting the Panthers back early on this drive. However, looking at the last drive, Ashdown's got to feel pretty good about themselves, as though it was a slow drive. It was a methodical drive that resulted in 6 points. The Badgers made a few mistakes that extended the drive, but credit to Ashdown, they capitalized on those situations when they had the opportunities to keep the drive alive. They did exactly that, and they'll look to continue to move the ball down the field well here in the second half.
The quarterback is Horn. He's had a very nice game. Movement from the right or left guard. That's going to be one of their best players, and he'll just make a mental mistake on first down, first play in the third quarter, and he will back his team up by 5. He plays both ways, and he's played well tonight for Ashdown. That is Fondren, I should say. So first down and 15 yards to go. Ashdown back at its own 12-yard line. Arkadelphia lines up defensively. Turned into an opportunity now for this Arkadelphia defense. Could give the team good field position if they get 3 and out right here, but they've got to really work hard to do that on 1st down and 15 for Ashdown. Back to pass. Horn looks deep. He'll throw instead short and overthrow his intended receiver. That's a little hard to do because it was Easter who's 6'6" on the front looking driving, reaching for the ball, unable to catch it on the sideline. So 2nd down, 15 yards to go.
Good pressure that time by the defensive front for Arkadelphia, and it was tough to tell from this angle, but it looked like Horn's arm may have gotten caught a little bit there trying to throw the ball, maybe force the ball offline a little bit. Either way, even if there was contact or not, it was enough pressure to force an errant pass.
2nd down, 15 yards to go. Easter caught only 1 pass in the first half for 18 yards. They might make him a target more often in the second half. 2 receivers wide, top of your screen. They're going to fake a handoff. Horn wants to throw. He'll step up. He'll throw short. It's complete to Easter, but he's hit immediately by Williams and brought down. That's going to be a gain just back up to the original line of scrimmage. 3rd down and long coming.
And credit Williams, not the biggest guy on the field. And Shamar Easter, he's got that D1 size to him, but Williams not shying away. They're making a good open field tackle and now forcing a 3rd and long here for Ashdown.
Easter on the reception for a 5-yard gain. 3rd down, 10 yards to go. Once again, the starting quarterback injured last week is Jonathan McElroy. He has played tonight, but he did not start, and most of the snaps have gone to Horn, who has proven himself to be an outstanding passer. But on 3rd down and 10, he'll be in the shotgun looking for a big play. Arkadelphia looking for a big play defensively and some good field position. Back to pass. He's immediately under pressure. Under pressure. Now he wants to run. He's going to get some yardage with some speed up to the 25 to the 30. Knocked out of bounds with a 1st down run by Horn. Wow, what a good show of speed. Horn, who had run but not for many yards in the first half. That time Chase showed a lot of speed coming around the end and making that 1st down.
And Horn has shown at times when he gets that space, he can do a lot of damage. Hasn't gotten many opportunities to show that off yet. But here's a case right here early in the second half. Ashdown's going to be looking for more opportunities like that going into the later parts of this game.
McElroy is going to check into the game, but Horn will stay in the game. So let's see what the result here will be. McElroy played running back earlier in his career, but he was injured last week and has not played many snaps tonight. He's going to line up as a running back next to Horn. And a flag goes down.
It's going to be a delay of game on Ashdown as the Panthers were late getting out of the snap. There was already just 5 seconds on the play clock when they broke the snap. Tried to get in position quickly, but not enough time, and it's going to cost the Panthers 5 yards.
1st down, 15 yards to go. McElroy will stay in the game. If he lines up at running back again, one might sense a little pitch and pass by the halfback, who happens to be also a quarterback. We'll see. Shotgun formation. They are going to fake it to McElroy and a run by Horn, but he's hit immediately and brought down. Good work by the Badgers.
That's Cade McBride making the hit there for Arkadelphia. Again, McBride's done a really good job in multiple facets here tonight. He's stuffed the run at times. He's also had a deflection or two moving into the secondary. But really, it's been an overall excellent effort for McBride here tonight. One of several key players for the Badgers and what has been a strong defensive effort thus far against an Ashdown team that has been taking its time moving the ball down the field, but they've been moving the ball down the field fairly effectively. It's come down to a few key stops.
Gain of 1 by Horn, so it's 2nd down, 14 yards to go. That's Easter at the top of your screen on an island out there with Middleton. 2 receivers at the bottom of the screen. He's looking to the right. He's throwing short and incomplete. Good pressure, and he didn't get it to his receiver, Winfrey.
And you could tell that Winfrey was the intended receiver that time, but again, it's the pressure from Arkadelphia. We've talked about this all season long, Jeff. Arkadelphia may not get the highest number of sacks that you see in the conference, but they're always causing disruption, it seems. You know, they're forcing errant passes. Sometimes it's interceptions, and sometimes it just translates to plays like that where the ball falls short or goes offline. Still, though, the Arkadelphia defensive line, even when they're not necessarily getting those stat plays, they're definitely factoring in at all times.
Young, Wimberly, Wilson, really fine defensive work by that line tonight. On 3rd down and 14, they'll put some pressure on the quarterback, and he'll throw a deep one looking for a receiver. The ball is batted. The ball is incomplete. Almost caught, almost intercepted, and it fell to the turf incomplete.
That was some nice coverage there by Latonio Hughes as he was in position almost to get the interception that time. Looked like it was going to be a 50-50 ball. Both men ripped the ball free, and it lands to the ground. Now it's 4th down here for the Panthers. And backed up this deep in their own territory, it looks like they may be forced to punt.
You just cannot assume the punt will actually happen. They did convert a fake punt in the first half. They also got a first down on a roughing the punter penalty against Arkadelphia. The Badgers are going to send Purifoy deep because he's capable of long, long kicks, and they want to try to keep that from happening. This ball bounces, and Shamar Easter kicks it nearly to us, and a flag goes down. Not sure what that call is going to be, but the flag goes down. Oh, goodness. You got to hope this is not a mistake on Arkadelphia's part because, goodness, that was a punt that went out of bounds at the 31-yard line of Ashdown. If it's a penalty against Arkadelphia, instead of 1st and 10 at the 31 for Ashdown, it'll be a first down for the Panthers. And Arkadelphia is guilty of a personal foul. Goodness gracious. The ball had already sailed out of bounds, but a block or a contact on the near side turned into too much action and a penalty against Arkadelphia. Goodness gracious. Now let's see if the possession had already changed hands. Was that after the play or during the play? We don't know yet.
Looks like the defense is walking out there.
Yeah, yet another mistake against Arkadelphia. They're going to mark it out from the line of scrimmage, and that's going to be a first down. Goodness gracious. The 3rd time tonight, Ashdown has lined up for a punt and wound up with a first down. Yeah, you want people to compete, but that time the Badgers just made a mistake that hands a first down to Ashdown at the 43-yard line, its own 43, instead of Arkadelphia having a first down at the 31-yard line of the Panthers. So the defense has a mistake to overcome. New life for the Ashdown offense, and Horn at quarterback. From its own 43, Ashdown lines up. They're going to send Easter in motion. They're going to hand it to him. Now he's going to pitch it, and flags go down. Arkadelphia is chasing and will make a big form tackle at the 34-yard line. That's Nick Williams, and now a flag goes down. And let's see what that's going to be. On the far sideline, a flag went down.
And Arkadelphia did get fired up. Wonder if it may be a sideline warning as some of the defenders started to celebrate over on the sideline for Arkadelphia.
Yeah, the first penalty, I should say, was against Ashdown, but Arkadelphia, I'm sure, would like to take the play if it's just a sideline warning, but we have yet to see that marked off.
We've talked about Nick Williams with his excellent form in all these different defensive plays. He had the nice hit in Nashville, even though the ball was held on to. That time, again, Williams showing excellent tackling form out of the secondary, absolutely rocking the ball carrier, and it is a sideline warning against Arkadelphia. But there was good reason for celebration. That was a nice hit there from Williams.
It was a form tackle. No problem with the tackle at all. And they're going to decline the penalty. It's just a warning against Arkadelphia's sideline, not a penalty. And Arkadelphia will decline the penalty against Ashdown and take the play because the play is a loss all the way back to the 33-yard lines where they're going to mark it. So Ashdown needs 21 yards. It's 2nd down. Just into the 3rd quarter, Arkadelphia 7, Ashdown 6. Exciting plays, mistakes by both teams, and a 7-6 game. My goodness. Back to pass. Horn is looking deep. Now he wants to throw back to the other side. Flags go down. That pass is caught by Winfrey. Let's see if it comes down. Hughes made the tackle at the 22, but the flag is in the backfield. Arkadelphia is waving this one back. Let's see if that is the call. The flag came down in the backfield. We expect to see a holding call. And let's see if that is indeed going to be the call. It would appear to be because both teams now walking back to the original line of scrimmage. My goodness, that was a beautiful deep pass, and he got it to Winfrey, who made the catch. Hughes immediately made the tackle, but it's coming back, and that flag went down before the pass was ever thrown.
Unfortunate error there for the Panthers. They've had a lot of attempts downfield, And some of them have worked out. I don't think any of them have worked out quite that well for Ashdown, but unfortunately it's coming back after the penalty. What would have been a field-flipping long pass now results in even more ground to cover for Ashdown.
Ball spotted all the way back to the 18-yard line of Ashdown. A major loss on a reverse, and then a holding call deep behind the line of scrimmage, and Ashdown finds itself needing some successful passes on 2nd down and a half acre. They're going to line up 2 receivers, including Winfrey, at the bottom of your screen. Easter is in the game. And now a flag goes down. I think they delayed the game again, did they not? Yeah, it's going to go against Ashdown, another penalty. Goodness gracious. Delay of game, 5 more yards. Back to the 13-yard line it goes. The game has not been mistake-free, but it has been exciting. Arkadelphia leading 7-6. Both teams capable of big plays. They've made a few, but more defensive big plays than offensive big plays. Badger defense lines up, 2 safeties deep. Mr. Horn might throw it deep on this play. Let's see. Ooh, he slips, almost falls. Now he's in trouble, and he does fall at the 5-yard line. A tackle for loss, a sack, and Arkadelphia just continues to march Ashdown backwards. They're going to spot it at the 6. The line of scrimmage was the 43. It's 3rd down.
Excellent read there by Max Wilson. Saw the momentary lapse caused by the low snap, and he's able to capitalize. And now Ashdown, Jeff, it's not much of a stretch to say that this is about from the Texas State line here, going for the 1st down.
Got to make it to the Arkadelphia 47-yard line for a 1st down. Ashdown lines up on 3rd down from its own 6-yard line. It's okay. You just go to the playbook and look for the 50-yard play.
3rd and 47.
Badgers playing deep on defense. Ball is thrown deep. Arkadelphia can't quite get to it. Well overthrown the intended receiver. And Ashdown has 4th down from its own 6-yard line. And the Badgers just want to get through a punt without making another mistake. 3 times the Panthers have lined up for a punt and come away with a 1st down instead. Badgers going to get good field position if that does not happen again. Wow, what a first possession of the 3rd quarter for Ashdown. A chance to take the lead to begin the 2nd half. They drive to the middle of the field and then drive backwards. Punt from the 6-yard line. Easter is the kicker. His kick is underway. Nobody roughed him. Ball bounces at the 35 and takes a great Ashdown bounce. This has happened every time he's punted. The ball is going to go across the 50 all the way to the Arkadelphia 46-yard line. Beautiful job by Easter, but Chase, it's still good field position for Arkadelphia. Arkadelphia will send its offense onto the field. The Badgers at their own 46-yard line. 8:26 left. We are in the 3rd quarter tonight. Arkadelphia leads it 7-6. The Badgers got a touchdown with 11:20 left in the 2nd quarter. And then on its last offensive possession of the 2nd quarter, Ashdown got a touchdown, but they went for 2 on a trick play after lining up for an extra point, did not get it, and so Arkadelphia has a 1-point lead. On 1st down, Arkadelphia at its own 46. Buckley is the running back. And they're going to hand it. No, there's the keeper. A good handoff fake and some yardage for Witten to the 50, 45, 40 to the 35. He'll hit a defender, lower his shoulder, and make good yardage. Now a flag is down. And I think it's going to be against Arkadelphia. Goodness gracious. Blocking penalty against Arkadelphia. Holding call on the edge against one of the receivers. And 10 yards from the spot of the foul will just take it back to the 45. So, well, back to the original line of scrimmage I see now. So it's 1st down and 10 all over again. But it nullifies a run that would have put the ball at the 36-yard line of Ashdown. Arkadelphia trying to overcome some mistakes here tonight. Ashdown trying to do the same thing. Rolling to his right is Witten. He'll throw a pass. That's complete to Babb. Babb's got 8 yards. He's hit hard and brought down. The forward progress will put him at the 47-yard line. I thought that was a spot off by a yard or so, but still a gain up to the 47, and it's 2nd down. Badgers need 3 more for a 1st down. And a flag down as one of the receivers took off a little bit early, and that's going to back up Arkadelphia by 5. They're calling a lot of penalties, Chase, but clearly some of these are penalties. I don't know that they're overreacting as officials here. We're just seeing both teams really competing well, but just making mistakes.
And you can tell that tension is high here tonight. A lot of nerves going around for both teams on both sides of the ball. And really it's just been a give and take for both teams thus far. You've seen a lot of good plays, but also a lot of mistakes that have called some of those good plays back.
On second down, Whitten back to pass. Blitz is on. They'll pick up the blitz. He's got time to throw or time to run. He's going to run to the 50, to the 45. He'll slide and go down at the 44-yard line of Ashdown, and one of the Panthers is also down on the play. Gosh, hate to see anybody injured. Good to see that Whitten is up and okay, but a defender who was not in on the tackle is injured here on the near sideline. So we will take a break as they tend to him. Arkadelphia will have an important third down coming momentarily. They haven't spotted the ball yet, but I believe it's going to be a yard short of a first down, and we'll come back with more third quarter action after this.
At Eccles, Thompson, and Kneebone CPA, we seek to provide accounting, tax, and financial planning services to individuals and small businesses with proficiency and integrity. Serving Arkadelphia since 1977, our staff looks forward to meeting your financial goals of today and also becoming your financial advocate for life. Visit us at 205 North 25th Street or call 246-8991 today. Eccles, Thompson, and Kneebone LTD says Go Badgers.
As a family-owned sporting goods supplier since 1950, Southwest Sporting Goods understands the value of customer service and is committed to providing the best quality customer service and merchandise available. Southwest Sporting Goods is located in Arkadelphia, but also has salesmen that cover the entire state of Arkansas to help ensure that their customers will receive the best customer service and pricing that can be found. Southwest Sporting Goods, located in downtown Arkadelphia, supporting the Badgers since 1950.
The young man who was injured has been helped off the field, and a couple of substitutes have checked in to play defense for Ashdown. That includes, surprisingly, their quarterback, who has not played as much quarterback tonight because of an injury. Jonathan McElroy has checked in. And also Winfrey, their very fine receiver, is playing safety now. First down and 10. They measured Arkadelphia had a first down at the 44-yard line of Ashdown. So the Badgers looking strong right now, going to run the ball. Here's Buckley. He's got a hole. He's going to make yardage to the 40-yard line, a pickup of 4, second down and 6.
And D'Angelo Buckley had a nice touchdown last week on senior night for Arkadelphia after missing a few games due to injury. Glad to see him back taking some snaps in each of the last 2 games. Trying to make an impact here in the second half. Arkadelphia's got a couple of fine running backs in the form of D'Angelo Buckley as well as Kyle Reed, who's also made his presence felt this season.
Whitten will fake the handoff, step up, avoid pressure, and run. He's to the 35, to the 30. Will be knocked out of bounds just at the 25-yard line. Another first down for Arkadelphia.
That's a Welch Funeral Home first down there for Arkadelphia, as you mentioned, Jeff. And Donovan Whitten again improvising after some good pressure from Ashdown. Forced him out of the pocket, but he was able to read downfield, saw some green grass ahead of him, and just takes it himself and gets a nice gain.
4 receivers, top of the screen. They're going to throw to the top of the screen, run after the catch by Hughes. He breaks a tackle to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Arkadelphia. Touchdown, Badgers, no flags. Late call, but we could see he got into the corner and avoided the out-of-bounds line. So a touchdown for Arkadelphia. A Farm Bureau touchdown, only the second one of the game, but Arkadelphia has regained a larger margin now to 7-point lead. They'll try to make it 8 with this extra point.
And, Jeff, you could almost hear everybody collectively holding their breath after the play just to make sure that there were no flags down and that it was indeed a touchdown. But that was the case. Beautiful play call there as Latonio Hughes gets a short, simple pass, but he makes something special out of it as he just gets off to the races, breaks into the open field, and picks up the touchdown.
Extra point attempt is up, and it will slide to the left, no good. And so it's a 7-point lead. Arkadelphia 13 and Ashdown 6. A little glimmer of hope there ignited for Ashdown with the missed extra point, but Arkadelphia has a 7-point lead once again. And we are, let's see, just almost midway through the third quarter. The Badgers set to kick off here momentarily. We are in the third quarter tonight. The Providence Veterinary Clinic is our sponsor for the third quarter. We've just seen a Farm Bureau touchdown after a couple of Welch Funeral Home first downs for Arkadelphia. Now Price & Company. Kickoff coming your way here momentarily. I have been impressed by the kick coverage by Arkadelphia, Chase, because these are dangerous return men lining up for Ashdown, but they've not had long returns.
And Arkadelphia has been excellent on special teams all season long. A lot of times you see the Badgers pin back the opponent inside their own 20-yard line. I believe it's only happened once here tonight. But as you mentioned, Jeff, this is a great special teams unit for Ashdown in their own right. And a lot of times they're a threat to run it all the way back. Haven't seen the kind of explosive returns that they've usually had this season. And again, credit that to Arkadelphia's coverage.
Darnell Williams is the receiver deep. Couple of up backs. Also, that's a long, high kickoff. Beautiful kick all the way to the 5-yard line. Returned up the middle. There's Nick Williams. He's going to hunt down Mr. Williams for Ashdown, and he gets him. Mistake as he gave up ground to try to turn his direction back in the opposite way and try to go around the Badgers, and you just can't outrun that many Badgers. He goes down inside the 10. Kickoff return of only 4 yards.
And that time for Ashdown, again, it was that hesitation. And Arkadelphia is one of those teams you can't hesitate against. You've got to capitalize when you see a weak spot. That time Ashdown waited for a weak spot to arrive, but it just didn't get there. Arkadelphia capitalizing on that hesitation and getting all the way to the ball carrier, pinning him back at his own 8-yard line or so, maybe at the 9. But again, Jeff, it's been things like that. A lot of times when these teams have made mistakes, it not necessarily hasn't been prompted by the defense, but rather the defense capitalizing on the mistakes made by the team themselves.
Back to pass is Horn. He looks to the sideline. He throws it incomplete. That ball fluttered a bit and went over the intended receiver at the 20-yard line. That was Winfrey they were trying to get the ball to. They have continued to line up Easter, at times at least, far to the left side. He's got single-man coverage over there, at least it would appear. The safety, I'm sure, is keeping an eye on him as well. But they've not thrown to him. They've continued to throw to the right side, looking for Winfrey more often. Incomplete there, 2nd and 10. This time 2 receivers go to the top of the screen, left side of the line of scrimmage. And to the right side, behind his tight end, is Easter. Back pass. They'll throw the ball short. Ooh, intercepted. The Badgers have it at the 25, to the 20. Return to the 15, to the 10. And Middleton is thrown out of bounds. And that's going to be a penalty on the tackle at the 9-yard line. Big opportunity with the interception by Middleton.
And Middleton always finds a way to put himself in a good position to get the ball. No difference here as he picks up his 5th interception of the season. And Coach Kaiser there to greet him as he goes to the sideline. And, Jeff, he's had a lot of interceptions this year. That might be the biggest one thus far as Arkadelphia is looking to get some momentum. They needed a shot in the arm, and that might be exactly what they needed.
Waiting for the official to make the call, but it sure looked like a horse collar tackle, and that is going to be the call. That's going to be half the distance to the goal from there, and Arkadelphia has a beautiful opportunity now. Oh, and a blindside block on the return. So they're going to spot the ball right at the 9-yard line. So it doesn't go to the 4.5. It'll stay at the 9, but still a wonderful opportunity for Arkadelphia after the interception by Middleton. A pass across the middle over the head of his intended receiver. Middleton was right there to catch it on the run. Arkadelphia offense spending some time on the sideline with head coach Trey Shucker. You can bet right now he's saying, let's take control of the game. We're up by 7. Let's get a 2-score lead here in the third quarter. Trip Campbell and Babb to the left side, tight formation. The running back is Kyle Reed. They're going to hand it. No, there's a fake pass play, and they're going to tackle Whitten. He got the ball downfield, incomplete. And it will be 2nd down and goal. He did get it downfield.
Babb was right there. Ball landed near his feet. So heads up play there by Whitten, seeing where a man was downfield. He knew he couldn't get the ball to him, but he could at least get it in the vicinity to where it wouldn't be an intentional grounding call. But Donovan Whitten, again, facing some heavy pressure up front from Ashdown. And thus far, he's done a good job resisting it.
2 running backs in the formation this time as Purifoy is going to join Reed. Now they're both going to go line up as receivers to the left side. No running backs in the formation. They're going to blitz. And here comes Trip Campbell inside the 5. He'll go down at the 2-yard line. Beautiful play. They let the defenders come in, and he was open in the flat. But a defender made the tackle. They're going to mark it down at the 3-yard line, and it's 3rd down and goal from the 3.
Simple, effective route there from Campbell. Almost set up the touchdown, but again, some staunch defense near the goal line for Ashdown.
Power formation. They're going to fake the handoff. No, they give the handoff, and it will not make the first down. Back to the line of scrimmage as Reed might have gained a half yard, but 4th down and goal coming for Arkadelphia. And slow getting up for the Badgers. One of the offensive linemen, but he's going to stay in the game. Arkadelphia will change its formation, and they're going to line up to go for it. Ball really closer to the 4. May have lost a half yard on that play. Change the formation. They'll go away from the power outlook in the backfield, and Reed will be the running back for his quarterback, Witten. 3 receivers top of the screen, 1 to the bottom. They want to throw the ball to Trip Campbell. He's got the catch. That, folks, is a touchdown, Arkadelphia.
Trip Campbell, what a huge touchdown catch here in the 3rd quarter. Campbell's had a lot of success on those routes where he runs to the left side of the end zone. That's where Coach Shucker likes to line him up a lot of the time. And it looks like they're going to go for the PAT here to go up by 2 full scores. But how about Trip Campbell? He made a couple of nice catches in that same left corner of the end zone last week at home. This time coming up on the road with his 3rd touchdown in 2 games. It's been a great couple of games here for the senior, who's really exploding here late in the season.
Here's the extra point attempt. Very important one. The kick is up, and this kick is right through. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I apologize. I thought I saw that go through, but apparently he hooked it just to the right. So it's no good, but Arkadelphia picks up 6, and the Badgers will go up by 13. It's Arkadelphia 19 and Ashdown 6. 4:47 left in the 3rd quarter. We'll be back after this.
Locally owned and operated, Java Primo is the official coffee house of ArkadelphiaBadgerTV.com. At Java Primo, amazing coffee is just the beginning. In addition to coffee, drinks, and desserts, we also have wonderful options for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Shop our gift selection 24/7 online at javaprimo.com or visit us on Main Street in historic downtown Arkadelphia. Java Primo Coffee House, Cafe, and more says, Go Badgers!
Beautiful pattern by Trip Campbell. Beautiful pass by Donovan Witten, and a touchdown. Extra point just slipped to the right. I apologize. I thought it had gone through. But instead, Arkadelphia with 6 points on the short drive after the interception. And it's Arkadelphia 19, Ashdown 6. 4:47 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Brock Curry's kickoff is high and deep. It'll go all the way to the 4-yard line. Return from the 4 up to the 15 to the 20. He makes a nice cut. He's going to make it to the 25, and that's it. Arkadelphia with good coverage again. And the kickoff will give Ashdown the possession. Returned by Williams.
Good coverage again from Arkadelphia against a talented special teams core. And, Jeff, that time we saw the adjustments from the last return. There was too much hesitation on that last return. That time Ashdown taking the ball and just running with it, trying to go with the flow of the play, and it worked better for the Panthers as they get it out past the 20 up to the 25. One of the better returns we've seen tonight for Ashdown.
All right, Ashdown down by 2 touchdowns, still in the 3rd quarter. They sense the importance now of trying to turn this around a bit after they have had mistake after mistake back them up here in the 3rd quarter offensively. Back to pass. Horn under some pressure, wants to throw deep. He's got a receiver deep, and he cannot quite get there. Winfrey could not catch up to the football. It's incomplete. Yeah, Horn was really hit hard as he let go of the football. Do not see a penalty flag. Legal hit. Ball at the 25-yard line, 2nd down and 10.
And Horn that time, just a great job to get the ball off as strong as he did. In fact, it was probably a bit too strong that time as Winfrey went full blast there from the snap. And a good effort there to try to get to the ball. Almost looked like he would have had a chance to try and dive and catch it, but unfortunately it was just outside of his reach. And now Ashdown's going to have to face 2nd and long.
On 2nd down, They're going to line up. Horn stays in at quarterback. He wants to pass again. He'll roll to his right. He's under pressure again, and he will throw the ball, intercepted by Arkadelphia. I don't think he was out of bounds when he threw the ball, or was he? Arkadelphia intercepted the pass, but let's see. The officials do say Arkadelphia has it. Arkadelphia has it. I thought an official might say that he had stepped out of bounds before he threw the ball, but he hadn't put a foot down yet, and he threw the ball down the sideline where Arkadelphia got the interception, and the Badgers take over.
He was out before he threw the ball.
We are hearing a different point of view from a few folks here near us in the press box, but I don't think he had a foot down, Chase. I think it was a correct call.
I think you're right, Jeff, and apologies in advance for this dad joke that's coming here, but right guy, right time. Tucker Guy was right there to make the read, picks the ball off. And a tough break there for Ashdown, but Arkadelphia going to be celebrating after another momentum-changing play. The defense really stepping up here for the Badgers in the second half.
First down, Arkadelphia, ball at the 24. Here's a running play. This is Whitten keeping it. Nice run inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. That's a pickup of 5. Oh, what an opportunity now for the Badgers, Chase.
The defense continuing to provide the offense with shorter fields to try and capitalize. And right now, the Ashdown defense playing back on their heels. And it looks like we're going to have a penalty here, though I believe this is going to be on Ashdown as the defensive lineman got out there late.
He had not crossed the line of scrimmage yet, was still on the Arkadelphia side of the field. Late decision to go into the game, and Arkadelphia was able to snap it. 5 yards. That will provide, I believe, a first down. It does. A free first down on the penalty on Ashdown. The intensity of the game may have contributed to some of these penalties really on both teams. Arkadelphia will want to clean this up before the Malvern game in 2 weeks. First of all, the intensity is helping them beat a good team in Ashdown, and the game's not over, obviously. It's still the third quarter, but Arkadelphia looking good right now as timeout is called on the field. 3:54 left in the third quarter. Arkadelphia 19 and Ashdown 6. We'll be back with more action after this.
Turner, Rogers, Manning & Plyler CPA is a longtime supporter of the Arkadelphia Public School District. Turner, Rogers, Manning & Plyler has established a reputation for providing clients with outstanding services that include auditing, accounting, and tax and business consulting. Contact Turner, Rogers, Manning & Plyler today at 870-246-4563 or by visiting them at 305 Professional Park Drive in Arkadelphia. Turner, Rogers, Manning & Plyler says, "Go Badgers!"
Dick Hayes Stadium in Ashdown, where a full house is seeing Arkadelphia trying to pull away from the Panthers. It's Arkadelphia 19 and Ashdown 6. 3:54 left in the third quarter. We have had a season's worth of action and a season's worth of penalties tonight, but Arkadelphia is coming out on top so far.
And really, the story has been this second half. Arkadelphia still seeing some penalties, but they cut it down significantly, especially on offense, where the ball's been moving well. And credit a lot of these successful offensive drives to the opportunities created by the defense, creating some shorter fields for Arkadelphia. Already 2 turnovers here in the second half, including a couple of interceptions, one by Kelburn Middleton and one by Tucker Guy just a few moments ago.
Ball at the 14-yard line of Ashdown. Arkadelphia with 2 running backs in the game, Purifoy and Buckley. They're going to hand it to Purifoy. He looks for a hole and he finds one. He's to the 10, he's to the 5, breaks the tackle. He'll go all the way to the 2, maybe even the 1. That is one exciting football player. First and goal at the 2.
And Purifoy, we've mentioned it in previous games. He's so explosive out of the backfield, using his speed to his advantage. But he's also got excellent field vision, and that's what allowed him to continue up the middle that time. Almost found his way into the end zone. But a good effort there by Ashdown to keep him from getting across the goal line.
Same formation. Purifoy this time is hitting the backfield and is going to lose a yard. And it's second and goal.
And that's one thing about Ashdown. This is a team that knows how to make adjustments. You can see them make a mistake on one play, and then the next play, they're not going to make that same mistake. They're going to make some adjustments and perhaps even improve on that, this time turning the tide in their favor for a loss on the play.
Lost about 1.5 yards. And it's second down and goal. Here's Whitten with Buckley in the backfield. He wants to pass, gets it to Trip Campbell. Another catch, another touchdown.
Well, Jeff, we were talking about it just a moment ago.
that route to the left side, that little fade to Trip Campbell has been working very well for Arkadelphia the past couple weeks. It's the 4th time in 2 weeks that's happened, and it looks like Arkadelphia is going to keep the offense on the field perhaps. Donovan Witten hasn't left yet, so they're going to go for 2.
That same play in the end zone. Fired it to Campbell, who was actually pretty well covered, but he just reached up and snagged it. Great catch. 2-point conversion. They want to throw the ball again. Witten looking in the end zone, fires now across the middle. That ball is caught by Campbell for the 2-point conversion. What a big game by Campbell.
Trip Campbell continuing to find his way open in the end zone, this time for a 2-point conversion. But, I mean, you look at these last couple of drives, Jeff, 14 full points coming from nice catches from Trip Campbell. We've seen him go with that left fade. This time he was running more of a slant route across the middle, but he ran it very effectively in heavy traffic, made a good catch. And now Arkadelphia up by 3 full scores here with just under 3 minutes to go in the third quarter after leading by just 1 at halftime.
Campbell, 2 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion, all here in the third quarter. Passes, of course, by Donovan Witten. Arkadelphia is set for the kickoff. Curry has struggled on the extra points tonight, but his kickoffs have been exemplary. And he's set for another kickoff. This is a Price & Company kickoff following the Farm Bureau touchdown. Arkadelphia's had a couple of those here in the third quarter. Stretched its lead to 27-6. Still a lot of time left. 2:57 left. We're still in the third quarter. Ashdown is explosive, but the Arkadelphia defense has just played extraordinarily well tonight. Here is a high kickoff, a little shorter this time, caught on the run at the 13-yard line. Returned, this is Fricks. He's up to the 25, to the 30. He'll go to the 33-yard line.
And Ashdown continuing to get better and better with each and every return. This time, Fricks using his explosiveness to again get some extra yardage at the end of the play. Got a good break, but Arkadelphia, again, just that solid coverage, not allowing too many long returns. This is the longest they've allowed of the night, and even then, Ashdown still about 16 yards away from midfield.
So Ashdown is down by 3 touchdowns for the first time tonight. We've seen a lot of passing from Horn at quarterback. We might see a lot more before this game is over. He's got Fricks next to him as a running back. He's a good running back, but Arkadelphia has stopped the running game for Ashdown tonight. Horn has thrown some good passes, but he's played under pressure. There's a good run, though, by Fricks across the 40 to the 41-yard line. That's a good run to the left side, and it's second down and 3.
And Fricks is just one of those runners who appears to get stronger and stronger the longer he's in a game. A lot of the times we expect the opposite to go into effect, but Fricks really here, he's been waiting for those opportunities to open up. He's seen a few more of those, and he's capitalized on the opportunities. Arkadelphia trying to close up those gaps. They've done a pretty good job thus far in the second half, though. Panthers still looking to get on the board.
And they're going to run it again with Fricks. Same play, and he's going to get yardage for a first down up to the 46-yard line. Well, maybe this is what we should expect, Chase, because 2 interceptions in the third quarter, and now they've turned around to run the ball and picked up a first down.
And not only that, feeding the hot hand here, as it was 2 nice runs from Fricks, and we've got an injured player down on the field. Looks like that's Fondren.
Yeah, I think he's going to come off the field under his own power, but he will come out, and they'll send another lineman in. He's got to be tired, for one thing, Chase. He's playing both ways on the line of scrimmage.
And he's been making big plays on both sides of the ball, so Ashdown wanted to get him back into the game as quickly as possible. As you mentioned, Jeff, he's a key factor in both the offense and the defense, not only protecting Fondren and both quarterbacks here tonight for Ashdown, but also bringing down the quarterback and the ball carriers for Arkadelphia.
First down, Ashdown at its own 46-yard line. They'll fake the run, and the quarterback will keep it, and he'll just make it back to the line of scrimmage. Horn has good speed, but hasn't been able to use it often tonight.
That was Marvion Berry making the tackle as a linebacker that time. He also has a fumble recovery on the night. It's really been a solid season for Marvion Berry. He's made some big plays, not only on defense, but also on special teams. A week ago, had the block punt that led to a kick return by Chase Vantelborg.
Whistles on the field. Let's see an official's timeout. And Vantelborg is going to check out of the game, and Checking in for Arkadelphia is Tucker Guy. Now we're ready for action. They'll start the clock again at 1:10 left in the third quarter. Arkadelphia leading by 3 touchdowns with a good third quarter here. 27-6 at the score. Badgers leading 7-6 at halftime of this game. Second down, 10 yards to go. Horn is back to pass. He wants to throw deep. He does throw deep. Man-to-man coverage. Winfrey makes a nice move and catches the football at the 15-yard line. What a good play by the receiver playing the ball. Middleton had him down the sideline, but then he made the move for the ball and beat Middleton to it. First down, Ashdown at the Arkadelphia 15-yard line.
And Middleton is a fine defensive back for the Badgers, but that time, as you mentioned, Jeff, Winfrey just doing a great job to throw him off just enough to get that separation to come up with the catch.
Now a deep pass to the end zone on the other side. It is caught. Beautiful pass as it dropped past the defender into the arms of the receiver, and Ashdown is fighting back. We don't have a player by that number on our roster, but a touchdown for Ashdown. And it's 27-12. One would think that they would go for 2, although the kicker is out there, Michael McElroy. They lined him up earlier and then went for a 2-point conversion and did not make it. Now it appears that they're going to be satisfied with a kick. That would make it a 14-point game. Kick is up, and the kick is no good. He pulled it and missed it. So Arkadelphia will keep a little bit larger lead now, a 15-point lead for the Badgers. Arkadelphia 27, Ashdown 12, 39 seconds remain in the third quarter. We'll be back with more Arkadelphia football after this.
Doctors Gary and Rob Rucker are proud sponsors of this Arkadelphia Badger broadcast. Dr. Gary and Rob Rucker supporting the Badgers since 1996.
Get real attention on your auto insurance. Get real auto, home, and life insurance. Get Farm Bureau Insurance.
Call Clark County Farm Bureau today at 870-246-4554.
Point after touchdown was no good, but the touchdown reception was good. So 6 points for Ashdown with 39 seconds left in the third quarter. It's Arkadelphia 27, Ashdown 13.
And Ashdown getting back a little bit of momentum.
I'm sorry, 12. Yeah, 12 because they missed the extra point. My fault, 15-point lead.
Panthers got back a little bit of momentum after giving up 3 straight scores out of the break to Arkadelphia. Looking to try and get some more momentum back on their side here.
So Arkadelphia would love to have a nice kick return here from McElroy. A couple of left-footed kickers in the action tonight. We'll see if he can kick it deep. He will instead bounce it along the turf. It's going to be picked up, returned from the 30-yard line. This is Babb. He'll go to the 38-yard line. Good field position for the Badgers as they get started on another drive. The drives have looked better here in the second half, in the third quarter, than in the first half.
And this is the longest field that Arkadelphia will have to deal with here in the second half. And, Jeff, that just speaks a testament to how good the field position has been for Arkadelphia, and a lot of that is due to the defense. The defense has created 2 turnovers already, forced a punt early in the quarter as well, and even then the ball landed around the 46-yard line. Arkadelphia with great field position here at the 38, trying to build off that momentum, again, that they've built over the last 3 drives, scoring drives, all of them.
Running play, and Buckley has nowhere to go. Second down and 10 coming. D'Angelo Buckley in the game for Arkadelphia. We've also seen Kyle Reed at running back and occasionally Purifoy. On second down and 10, Arkadelphia will line up with Trip Campbell, who has 2 touchdowns in this quarter, along with Hughes and Babb to the bottom of your screen, Evan Bailey to the top. They've got a safety playing about 20 yards deep. Arkadelphia has thrown deep on occasion tonight. Quarterback draw, running play. He's to the 40, to the 45-yard line. Good run by Whitten, and third down and 3 will come your way as we will begin the fourth quarter when we come back. It's Arkadelphia 27 and Ashdown 12. We'll be back after this.
Locally owned and operated, Welch Funeral Home has been serving the Arkadelphia community since 2005. Our goal at Welch Funeral Home is to offer every family that will allow us to serve them the most caring, dignified, professional service at the most affordable price. With over 40 years of experience in the funeral home industry, owner Tim Welch and Welch Funeral Home have also been longtime supporters of the Arkadelphia Badgers and Lady Badgers. Contact Welch Funeral Home at 870-230-1400 or visit them at 202 South 4th Street near downtown Arkadelphia.
Fourth quarter action coming your way here at Dick Hayes Stadium in Ashdown. Arkadelphia 27, Ashdown 12. Ashdown came back last time these two teams got together in Arkadelphia last year. The Badgers had a nice lead. Ashdown came back, but the Badgers held on and won that one. The Badgers will try to do that again tonight, and adding to their point total is something they'll try to do on this drive. The ball was spotted at the 44-yard line, so Arkadelphia needs 4 on third down to keep it going. The break for the quarter, though, gave Arkadelphia's offense plenty of time to talk about this third down play. They're going to line up Babb, Campbell, Hughes, and Purifoy, 4 receivers. Now they're going to send Purifoy back to the running back position. He will run it, and Purifoy's got a first down and more to the 50, to the 45. He'll be dragged down at the 41-yard line. Beautiful play call and a first down.
A Welch Funeral Home first down there for Purifoy as he has a little bit of an end around that time going in motion. He was originally set up as a receiver, as you mentioned, Jeff, and he had a nice burst around the edge. Good blocking on the right side as well from the Arkadelphia offensive line to give him that extra oomph.
From the 41-yard line, Witten wants to throw to the right side. He'll send it deep. He's looking for Hughes and just does overthrow him. He was hit as he threw the ball, and that probably kept it from being right on target. Would have been a touchdown with a targeted pass to Hughes, but he let him just a bit too much. Had to let go of it, I think, a little bit sooner than he wanted to. Couldn't get the full follow-through on the pass. It's second down and 10 for the Badgers. Fourth quarter brought to you by Eccles, Thompson, and Kneebone. We are so thankful to all of our sponsors to allow us to bring you these games. Arkadelphia Badger football. Whitten in the shotgun. Will hand off. And here's a running play for Buckley up the middle. He's got good yardage to the 30, 25, 23-yard line. First down.
That's part of what makes Arkadelphia so dangerous. You've got 3 different weapons that you can use in the running game. You have Jaquavis Purifoy, as we saw a few moments ago. This time going to D'Angelo Buckley. Kyle Reed has also made some nice plays for Arkadelphia tonight. And Donovan Witten's not too bad with his legs as well. So Arkadelphia, a lot of different ways they can hurt you on the ground. And you've also got to be aware of that good wide receiving core all at the same time.
Be so meaningful to respond to this Ashdown touchdown with an Arkadelphia touchdown. Badgers lead it by 15. Handoff, Buckley again looking for space. He'll get a little bit, and now he'll drag defenders inside the 20-yard line. That's not a bad gain on first down.
And it looks like both offensive lines are getting stronger the longer we go into this game. Both defenses had their way early, but we started to see the offensive line settle in, get better protection for the quarterback, and also give some extra pushes there to the running game, as we saw with D'Angelo Buckley.
Shamar Easter was in on that tackle. He's playing some defense as well. Here is a pass. Timing was thrown off on that by a little bit of fumbling of the ball. Wound up being an incomplete pass to Purifoy in the flat. Third down coming. Ball spotted at the 18-yard line, so it is third down and 5.
And we'll see what Arkadelphia draws up here on 3rd and 5. As we mentioned a few moments ago, Jeff, so many weapons that they can use.
On third down, they'll send Purifoy in motion, rolling to his right. Now throwing back to the left. He's got a wide open receiver. There's a catch at the 13 to the 10. This is Buckley to the 5. Touchdown, Buckley and Arkadelphia.
What a play there by Donovan Witten. He was able to attract the defense all the way to the right side. That allowed D'Angelo Buckley to be all alone on the left side. One defender playing a little bit back. But that time Witten on the run, throwing across his body, finds Buckley. And that time Buckley doing a nice job to get around the defender and get into the end zone for the score.
Arkadelphia is going to go for 2. Badgers up 33-12. They'd like 2 more right here. Witten at quarterback. Buckley is in with him. As Chase said, that was just a beautiful play. Great design on that play, and wide open was Buckley. Made one nice cut, got through one defender, and was in the end zone. Now on the 2-point conversion, Witten looking to throw. He'll fire the ball to the corner. Oh, just out of the reach of Campbell and incomplete. First time in this half that he has not thrown the ball to Campbell for a score of some sort. He has 2 touchdowns on a 2-point conversion, but it doesn't go through that time. So Arkadelphia has a 21-point lead, 10:30 left in the football game, and we will take a break. We'll be back with more Badger football after this.
While you may not be a pediatric surgeon volunteering your topiary talents at a children's hospital, your life is just as unique. Your Raymond James financial advisor gets to know you, your passions, and the way you give back, so you can live your life. That's life well planned.
Well, don't look now, but Arkadelphia has scored 4 touchdowns in the second half. A 7-6 lead at halftime has turned into a 33-12 lead here in the fourth quarter, but still quite a bit of time left in this football game, 10:30. And we know that Ashdown has talented players. They scored pretty quickly on that last drive, and we'll see if Arkadelphia's defense can bounce back on this one. Brock Curry set for the kickoff. Here's the kick. He'll send it deep. It'll go to the 6-yard line, returnable. Right up the middle it comes, and Williams trips over, I think, maybe his own player and goes down at the 16-yard line. Was that Easter that he tripped over? He went down in a pile at the 16 on that short kickoff return. Arkadelphia will send the defense back out.
And we've seen a little bit of a change in the body language of the Panthers here in the second half as well. You start to see the lead growing for Arkadelphia, and really the Panthers looked locked in to start out the game, not necessarily seeing the same precision here late in this one. At the same time, though, Ashdown's not going down without a fight. They gave up 3 straight scores, but they came right back with a score of their own. Arkadelphia again swinging the pendulum in their favor. We'll see if Ashdown can respond.
Horn wants to pass. He's looking for Easter. Now he's looking to run. He's going to make some yardage up to the line of scrimmage, stiff arm, but he has run out of bounds. Short gain, if any. Once again, well defended by Arkadelphia. Second down, 9 yards coming. Stop the clock as he ran out of bounds. 10:19 left. Horn, good-looking young quarterback, pressed into action last week when the starter McElroy was injured. McElroy has played tonight, but only a few series. He's also played a little bit of defense. But Horn has been the captain of the attack on offense. He's got a good arm, but has 2 interceptions in this half. Back to pass. Pressure on the quarterback. He throws it complete to Easter. That's a good pass. Easter, stiff arm, gets by 1 defender. He's to the 35. He's fast and he's strong, and he'll be knocked out of bounds at the 43-yard line. You just expect to see that every so often at 6'6", 225. He is hard to guard and hard to tackle.
And credit to the Panthers, they're able to improvise on the run as Horn was able to draw some attention onto himself and onto the receivers to the left side. That took the attention off of Easter. Easter was right there over the middle, makes a good pass, and then Easter doing a lot after the catch as well, showing off the speed and the strength as he was able to throw off a couple of defenders before finally being brought down.
Just his 3rd catch tonight, but that was a big one. Back to pass, Horn. He'll throw the ball. That's a completion. Good play to the 50, to the 45. Nice form tackle again by Nick Williams, bringing down the receiver at the 42-yard line of Arkadelphia. First down and 10, and the Panthers are on the move again.
Crisp pass that time by Horn, and then the wideout making a nice step back before getting a few extra yards. Just a great overall play there for the Panthers as they look to build some momentum now. Got the ball into enemy territory yet again.
Horn just looks like an all-conference quarterback at times, but he's thrown a couple of interceptions that's helped Arkadelphia in this half of play. 2 short drives for touchdowns after those picks. Now first down and 10 from the Arkadelphia 42-yard line. Horn will throw a short pass. That's complete to Fricks. Fricks looking for room to the 40. He's hit hard. He'll break 1 tackle, but Barry brings him down at the 38-yard line. Got 5 yards, 2nd and 5.
And Fricks is so elusive. That time, Zane Thomason made the right read and had it read all the way. But again, Fricks able to continue extending the play. He does get just 4 yards out of the play. But again, could have been a lot less as Zane Thomason was right there. He stuck with it, though, and was finally able to bring him down, holding onto that left leg, or that left foot, I should say, of Fricks.
Second down, 6 yards to go. McElroy in the game, playing receiver now. And a quarterback keeper by Horn. He's to the 35, breaks the tackle, down the sideline to about the 29. Yeah, they're going to give him the 29-yard line. That's a first down for Ashdown. They've avoided penalties on this drive, and it has helped Ashdown quite a lot. They've had a lot of self-inflicted wounds, Chase, but this time they're looking like a well-oiled machine. Not going to give up just because they are down 33-12 to the Badgers. Horn at quarterback. Back to pass. Pass intercepted at the 21-yard line to the 30, 35, and out of bounds. Another opportunity for a catch and another interception for Arkadelphia as Zane Thomason got this one.
Zane Thomason becoming the second linebacker for Arkadelphia tonight to come up with an interception, joining Tucker Guy. As again there, it looked like Horn just not reading the linebacker on the pass, didn't see him. Thomason leaped right up, got the ball, and got a nice return. 3 interceptions tonight for Arkadelphia as the secondary in that linebacking core has been absolutely excellent, giving their best performance perhaps of the season thus far, forcing Horn into a lot of mistakes. Also got to give credit to the Arkadelphia defensive front. That defensive line's been forcing a lot of those errant passes, and that is what's caused some of the mistakes for Ashdown as well.
First down, Arkadelphia at its own 38-yard line. They're going to a fake handoff, and Witten keeps it. He's got some yardage, good spin move. He's to the 45, 46-yard line. Nice gain on first down.
And we'll see now if Arkadelphia keeps the ball more on the ground, as now with just over 8 minutes to go. You could go into clock management, but at the same time don't want to get too conservative here, as there is still the chance of an Ashdown comeback. But Badgers got to be feeling pretty good about where they are at this point in the ball game.
2nd and 2, pass to Bailey. Bailey will stretch out and try to get the first down, but I think he only got 1, so 3rd down and 1 coming.
And that time Dell Robinson bounced right off of his blocker and got right to Evan Bailey. Made a great read from the snap. Did a great job of limiting the damage there for the Panthers. Still, though, Arkadelphia with a chance to get a Welsh Funeral Home first down here.
3rd down and 1. They'll throw the ball. Here's Hughes. He's got a first down and more to the 50. Nice cut to the 40, to the 30-yard line, to the 20. And did he step out or is he in? That is a flag down, and it's going to come back. Oh, my goodness. Great run by Hughes as he tried to make it down that sideline, but it didn't matter because that's going to be a penalty on the block on the far side. One of the receivers blocking for Hughes when he made the catch going to be called for a penalty, and Arkadelphia will have to try again on 3rd down. Holding call against the Badgers. Ooh, that's a tough one. Going to be a big gainer. They're going to mark it from the 45 of Ashdown, so 3rd down will come from the Arkadelphia 45. So instead of 3rd and 1, as it was on the last play, it's going to be 3rd down and 3. Once again marked off from the spot of the foul, so it's 3rd down and 3 as the foul was downfield. Timeout called by Arkadelphia. So they're going to stop the clock with 7:32 left to talk about what to do on 3rd down and 3. Arkadelphia at its own 45-yard line. And we'll be back with more Badger action after this.
The Board of Directors at South Central Electric Cooperative believes in the necessity of high-speed internet access in rural South Central Arkansas. South Central Connect was created to fulfill a need other internet providers were not able to provide in our area. South Central Connect, through our local cooperative, brings the necessity of internet service to your house, much like they did electricity in the 1930s. Sign up today at southcentralconnect.net or call 855-269-3429.
Arkadelphia visiting on the sideline, getting ready for a very important 3rd down and 3 play. Of course, the Badgers have a nice lead at 33-12, but Ashdown got a touchdown quickly on its last possession, so Arkadelphia would like to keep this possession alive, continue to drive, try to score again. The Ashdown large crowd beginning to thin out a bit here in the 4th quarter. Arkadelphia's fan base on the far side still cheering, very, very pleased with how things are going. The band performed beautifully at halftime, and they're still cheering on the team on the far side. Arkadelphia trying to stay undefeated and looking pretty effective in that attempt so far in the fourth quarter. Long timeout, long discussion. The Arkadelphia offense is huddled around its coaches, and now they're going to come out and line up. 10 seconds on the play clock. They're going to have to hurry, but everybody is in position now, and here's the snap. Running play. This is Buckley. He's got some yardage. I think he's got a first down. He's going to fall across the 48 to the 49-yard line. First down and 10, Arkadelphia.
Great job there by Buckley, operating in traffic, knowing exactly where the first down marker was. He was able to get just enough there, and credit again, the Arkadelphia offensive line providing just enough protection against this strong defensive front for Ashdown to pick up that Welch Funeral Home first down, and a big one at that.
Ball spotted at the 50. Pass complete. That's Babb. Babb with the catch. He'll get yardage about 12 yards to the 38-yard line of Ashdown, and Arkadelphia continues its drive.
Babb doing a great job of something he's done all season long, and that's just getting open. He's been able to make some good plays after the catch as well. Dr. Root, I don't think we've mentioned it on this broadcast yet, but Babb last week having the Yarnell sweetest play of the week for his 60-yard touchdown reception against Waldron a week ago.
And that's a pretty sweet first down right there. 38-yard line, first down and 10. Whitten is back. Under some pressure, he'll escape a tackle. Now he'll throw the ball. He's got an open receiver. That's Babb at the 20, and he'll be knocked down at the 17-yard line. Beautiful job by Whitten and Babb to connect just before the defense got there. First down and 10.
Babb, again, doing a great job of getting that separation to make the catch, and again, trying to make something happen there after the catch. It's good coverage by the secondary from Ashdown, but still another Welch Funeral Home first down for Arkadelphia, and the momentum continues to roll here for the Badgers as they're now inside the red zone.
Campbell, Hughes, Babb to the top of your screen, left of the line of scrimmage. Bailey to the right side. Buckley is the running back. Quarterback is Whitten. Donovan Whitten wants to pass. He'll look to the end zone. He'll throw deep, and it is incomplete. A defender was rolling around at the feet of Bailey, but no call is made. Arkadelphia, I think, on that side, hands in the air. Why wasn't there a call? But no effect, apparently, on Bailey, according to the official, and so it is second down and 10. Oh, they're going to mark off a penalty against the Badgers. Oh, now they're respotting it. Okay. Yeah, they had lined up a little too far downfield, so they're going to back it up to the 17, the original line of scrimmage. It's second down and 10. Buckley is the running back to the left of his quarterback. They'll throw to the flat. There's a catch by Babb. Babb will escape one tackler inside the 10. He's fighting for the end zone. Did he get in? Yes, a touchdown, Arkadelphia. It took a while for the official to decide, but he did. Touchdown, Arkadelphia. Babb went right over the pylon.
Carter Babb, again, finding a way open, and he hadn't had much space to work with on previous plays. That time he got just enough space to hit that far sideline and makes a lunging effort. It took every last effort that he had to get it into the end zone that time, but he's able to stretch it out just enough. Hits the pylon, and it's another Farm Bureau touchdown here in the second half. Arkadelphia looking to go up by a full 4 scores here with this 2-point conversion.
Here it is, 2-point conversion. Whitten rolls to his left, looking to the end zone. He throws to the back in the end zone. It's caught. That is a 2-point conversion, and Trip Campbell on the play.
It's that fade into the left corner of the end zone. Trip Campbell again, and Jeff, now he's 4 for 5 on that. They had that one 2-point conversion that didn't work out, but the other 4 have all resulted in at least 2 points. A couple of times they resulted in 6.
He's got a size advantage on many of the defensive backs, and he also runs good patterns that time in the back of the end zone instead of running to the front pylon, and the defenders just weren't there. So a 2-point conversion. Arkadelphia has a lead, 41-12, 6:07 left. Arkadelphia has scored 34 points in the second half.
And that's a promising sign for Arkadelphia going into the later portion of the season. Of course, looking at that big game ahead against Malvern to close out the regular season. Leopards still undefeated in their own right. Looks like that's going to be a conference championship game in addition to the rivalry game for the Ouachita River Rumble Belt.
And 6:07 remains in the game. Ashdown not going to give up. They've got a talented offense. They'll send it back out momentarily, but what a nice lead for Arkadelphia now. at 29 points. Badgers showing they could put points on the board against any defense. This is a fast defense, tough defense for Ashdown. But Arkadelphia has dominated here in the second half. Here is a kickoff returnable from the 5-yard line. He'll run to his right, try to make the 20, and he does. The return up to the 28-yard line, and a first down there for Ashdown. They'll send the offense back out on the field, and Carson Horn, their quarterback.
And Jaden Fricks, you got to appreciate the effort that the senior's putting out here tonight. You know, his team's down by quite a bit here late in the game, but he just seems to be getting stronger and stronger. He's really serving as a good example for his teammates down the stretch here, giving full effort. Though the Panthers are facing a sizable deficit, you wouldn't know it from his effort here tonight. Just excellent perseverance for a leader on both sides of the ball for Ashdown and also on special teams.
So first down and 10 for Ashdown, starting at its own 29-yard line. Horn at quarterback. He'll be back next year. This guy's going to be quite a good quarterback, but he's thrown 3 interceptions here in the second half against Arkadelphia. He's going to run the football and make a yard and go down. Second down, 9 yards to go. Doesn't matter what the score is, Arkadelphia's defense continues to play very, very hard, Chase.
And really, the Badgers' strong suit has been the second half over the season. This is one of the few times that the starters have really gotten to play a lot in the second half in recent weeks. But they stepped up to the challenge. They're well conditioned. And in some aspects, they seem to be getting stronger and stronger, especially you look at that linebacking core and that secondary combining for 3 interceptions here in the second half off of Horn, a good quarterback.
Second down, 9 yards to go. Horn wants to throw the ball. Back deep, he'll fire it across the middle. There's a completion and a huge hit from Brownlee, but a gain up to the 39-yard line. Just depends on the spot. Might be a first down. I mean, a big hit from Brownlee. I think it's a first down. Now they'll mark it. It's a first down and 10 for Ashdown at the 39-yard line. 4:52 left. Clock is going to continue to run here in the fourth quarter. Winfrey is the receiver in the slot at the top of the screen. Ashdown lines up. First down at its own 39-yard line. Horn back to pass. He'll throw the ball into the flat. Here's Fricks. He's hit by 1. 2 Badgers, goes down with a two-yard gain to the 41. Ashdown is working this offense, but I think they're satisfied to work the offense and let the clock run a little bit as the game is out of hand now. Arkadelphia is going to get this win. Badgers going to stay undefeated, have the week off next week, and then face Malvern, a really outstanding team that is undefeated in conference play so far. About the 41-yard line of Ashdown. Second down, 8 yards to go. Badger defense backs up looking for a pass. Horn wants to throw it deep. He'll throw it down the sideline looking for Winfrey. That ball is incomplete, almost in. That time, with the ball in his hands, but unable to hang on as he hit the ground, was the safety, Lamont Jones. What a good play by Jones.
And Jones trying to make it 4 interceptions on the half for Arkadelphia, 4th different player as well. Even though he didn't end up getting the INT that time, he was in position to make the play. So I think Arkadelphia is going to be satisfied with that as they force a 3rd and long.
Chris Babb is going to have our post-game interviews if he can escape the phone booth that we're in right now. He's trying to make his way to the sideline. Well, at the 41-yard line, 3rd down, 8 yards to go for Ashdown. We are grateful for the phone booth because it's on the home side. We've got a nice view to show you. And timeout on the field. So with the timeout, we're going to take a break. Arkadelphia leads it. It is Arkadelphia 41, Ashdown 12, 3:42 left in the game.
R&T Dixon's Exxon stores are proud to support this Arkadelphia Badger broadcast. Locally owned and operated by Randy and Tanya Dixon, we welcome you to visit one of our locations in Arkadelphia or Caddo Valley at each I-30 exit. We're also excited to open a bigger and better Tiger Mart at 10th and Pine in Arkadelphia next spring. R&T Dixon's Exxon stores say go Badgers!
Arkadelphia Tire and Outfitters is locally owned and operated by James and Tara Rollins, who were both raised here and continue to be active in our community. Arkadelphia Tire and Outfitters offers a variety of services from engine and transmission replacements to brakes, front end alignments, tire repair and replacement, and engine diagnosis on most makes and models. Stop by Arkadelphia Tire and Outfitters at 1802 Pine Street or give them a call today at 870-210-5269. Supporting Arkadelphia for years, Arkadelphia Tire and Outfitters says go Badgers!
Ashdown, 3rd down and 8. Here's the snap. Horn wants to throw the ball. He's in trouble, but will escape the tackler. He'll run to the sideline and throw deep and just miss his intended receiver. And a flag goes down. There was a hit at the end of the play by Nick Williams. He hit him with his shoulder pad, but it was as the ball just went past the receiver, and the official thought it was a little much, so he threw a flag. He hit him with his shoulder, Chase, no doubt about that. The ball had just gone past the receiver. Of course, when you're getting ready to make a hit, you don't really know if the ball is going to be in the hands of the receiver or not, but the officials felt like it was a little too much on the far side, and the receiver is slow in getting up, and so that penalty will go against the Arkadelphia Badgers.
And we'll see if they call it unnecessary roughness here, as I don't know if it was necessarily the nature of the hit, but when it happened, as he was going towards the sideline, so we don't know if they would consider him a defenseless player or perhaps that he was already going out of bounds. But again, we know that Nick Williams is a formed tackler. He's not usually going to make mistakes to where he makes an illegal hit like that, at least in terms of form. It may be down to timing here.
Yeah, I don't think he hit him with the helmet at all. And in fact, the injured player is going to run off the field. He's perfectly fine. Maybe had the breath knocked out of him. That was Ty Marks who took that hit. He was trying to reach for the football. It just went over his fingertips. And then Williams hit him in the midsection with his shoulder pad. And the official decided that was a little bit much. And so the 15-yarder against Arkadelphia puts the ball at the Badger 44-yard line, 1st down and 10 for Ashdown with 3:33 left in the game. Ashdown's still trying to score, and Arkadelphia is still playing some tough defense, but the call went against him that time. They have just decided the receiver was helpless in that situation. Back to pass, Horn. He'll throw a screen, and it's incomplete. As Arkadelphia got back there so fast, Chase, so fast, there just was no opportunity to set up that screen properly.
And Caden Brown, one of the main guys to get back to the quarterback there. There were a couple of Badgers in on that play, and Jeff, we mentioned it earlier in the broadcast. This is a defensive line that it just never seems to stop. They're always finding a way to disrupt the quarterback, get him out of his rhythm, and even if they're not necessarily picking up the sacks or those tackles for loss, they're going to force those errant passes like we saw just there. And also, it can also result in a lot of interceptions too. We've seen 3 of those here in the second half, creating some opportunities for the secondary as well.
Horn back to pass. He has been hit several times tonight. He's going to be sacked again back at the 49-yard line of Ashdown. Arkadelphia came through again. Alex Wilson, joined by a couple of teammates, made the sack.
And that time, Arkadelphia does get the tackle for loss on the plays. It was a good pass rush that time. And like it has been many times tonight, it's not just one man, it's a team effort. But the Panthers, again, getting thrown out of their rhythm here by a strong effort in the trenches by Arkadelphia's defensive line.
Ashdown has the ball at its own 49-yard line, but it's 3rd down. And they need 17 for a 1st down. Easter is lined up behind the left tackle. He'll go out for a pass. They'll throw it to him, and it's in and out of his hands, incomplete. That was only going to gain 3 or 4 because Arkadelphia had a defender right there. In fact, one of the defensive linemen, Jeliah Solomon, moved over to try to tackle that tight end. He just didn't catch it, so it's 4th down.
So we will see Easter stay on the field here to punt the ball away, but as we've seen several times tonight, Jeff, it doesn't necessarily mean that the drive's over. Arkadelphia has made some mistakes on 4th down, and also there have been some creative play calls from the Panthers on these punting situations. Shamar Easter has shown that he can throw the ball, and he can throw it well down the field.
Ashdown has a little trouble getting everybody lined up on the punt team. Now they're going to succeed in that. Down to 3 on the play clock, but the kick is away. End over end, going to be allowed to bounce. It'll take a big Ashdown roll. Now it'll come sideways a little bit. Inside the 10, it'll roll dead at about the 8-yard line, and Arkadelphia will take over on that spot. Arkadelphia Badgers really having a whale of a second half. Good defensive work with turnovers, Chase, and then Arkadelphia's offense has turned that into points.
Both teams have started, both sides have started to settle in. You look at the offensive unit, struggled a bit to find their footing. Didn't have too many opportunities out on the field as well. So when they made those mistakes, they were amplified a bit. This time, however, the defense really setting the tone by getting those crucial stops. Got the punt on the first drive, and then you see the 3 interceptions as well. Created short fields for the offense to start and build their confidence up a little bit. And then that started to translate into the longer drives as well. The Arkadelphia offense was capitalizing on each and every opportunity that they got. And thus why you see the score the way it is now. It has been a complete 180 from the first half, whereas Arkadelphia was in a tight game there. They've really pulled away here and proven they're the better team in the second half.
Arkadelphia will hand it to Kyle Reed, and he's going to make nice yardage on first down across the 15 to the 16, maybe the 17-yard line. The sophomore has really found a home in that backfield along with Buckley. That's a good 1-2 punch.
And both men have made some big plays here in this game. Kyle Reed, as we mentioned, one of the younger guys in this unit. D'Angelo Buckley, also fairly young himself, though he did have some playing time last year on varsity. Reed really having a breakout year, and he's had some nice snaps. Filling in for Buckley while he's been injured at times, but D'Angelo Buckley slowly being introduced back into the fold and being a weapon in his own right.
That was a gain of 9. Second down and 1. Back to Reed. Reed hitting the backfield, avoids that tackler. He'll fall forward to the 21. That's enough for a first down, a pickup of 3 yards. Arkadelphia putting together a beautiful game offensively and defensively. Despite some penalties, some mistakes, Arkadelphia has competed extremely well against a talented Ashdown team. The Badgers would like to go into victory formation. They're going to watch the play clock count down. 14, 13, 12. Good work by the offense to just take it easy. Let the clock run. When it gets close, then they'll take a knee. Arkadelphia is in victory formation against the Ashdown Panthers tonight. Arkadelphia is going to have a sizable win after a very close first half. It was 7-6 at halftime, and Ashdown got the ball first in the third quarter, but Arkadelphia did take control in that quarter.
And that really goes to show you, Jeff, there's that old saying, defense wins championships. Defense wins some regular season games as well, and that's what was the case here tonight. The defense really setting the tempo. Even though the offense was scoring the points, all those opportunities were created by the defense, creating those short fields and really allowing the offense more opportunities to get out there on the field than they had in the first half.
Arkadelphia will snap it one more time, and that might be all that she wrote. Victory formation, they'll snap it, hand the ball to the official, down to 35 seconds left. And they will not have to snap it again. Arkadelphia is going to come away with the win tonight. The final score, Arkadelphia 41 and Ashdown 12. Now, we want you to stay tuned for the postgame show. We've got a lot for you. Jim Rothwell has done an unbelievable job of keeping stats, mostly by listening to the play-by-play because he's in a spot in our little booth up here where he can't readily see the field. But he's done a fine job of keeping track of all the passing and all the running, the defensive stats as well. We'll have that for you in the postgame show, and we'll have interviews from the field itself, offensive and defensive players of the game, I should say. All that in the postgame show, sponsored by Blend Luxury Real Estate and our buddy Kerry Garnett out in San Diego. Well, that is the final score. We've gone to 0 on the clock, and Arkadelphia has come away with a win to go to 7-0 on the season. They have an open week next week because one of the teams, or a couple of the teams, of course, didn't play in the conference. So an open week, and then they'll have the finale against Malvern before the playoffs. Ashdown moves to 5-3 and 1-3 in conference play, but I have to believe they're probably going to right the ship and make the playoffs. This is a team that has a chance to win some games, I think, in the playoffs as well. All that coming to you next in the postgame show. Blend Luxury Real Estate and Kerry Garnett coming your way right after this.
Now managed by the Van Dorn Group, Sonic of Arkadelphia is ready to get involved in the Arkadelphia community. With the goal of making improvements to the Arkadelphia restaurant, the Van Dorn Group is committed to making Sonic of Arkadelphia one of the best around. Stop by Sonic of Arkadelphia today for a Route 44 slush or drink to go with the great Sonic burgers, tater tots, or french fries. Top it off with your favorite ice cream treat. Visit Sonic of Arkadelphia on 10th Street today and tell them thanks for their support of the Arkadelphia Badgers.
You belong at Patterson Federal Credit Union. No matter your financial needs, Patterson has products to help. We offer all types of accounts, savings, Christmas club, and a variety of checking accounts, including one specially tailored to teenagers. Certificates and IRAs are also available. If you're in need of a loan, we can help you with auto, recreation, personal, and home loans. Patterson Credit Union has several strategies to help build or repair credit, including our own credit card program, credit builder loans, and financial counseling. We're proud to have served Clark County for 65 years and look forward to many more years to come. Join us soon. You belong here.
Whether you realize it or not, you see the work of Batson Signs all around Arkadelphia. When you see the Badger equipment trailer on the way to a Badger game, Batson Signs did that. When you're watching the Badgers, Tigers, or Reddies and see the signage that just really makes their facilities pop, Batson Signs did that too. You see the signage in downtown Arkadelphia, on the campuses of Ouachita and Henderson, or the sign in your neighbor's yard supporting a candidate or their favorite Badger? Yep, Batson Sign did that too. Longtime residents and supporters of all things Arkadelphia called Mark, Jared, Chris, or Ryan at Batson Signs today to see what they can do for you.
We are back at Dick Hayes Stadium, where Arkadelphia tonight claimed a 41-12 victory over Ashdown, and the Badgers move to 7-0 on the year. Open date next week, and then it is Malvern for the last regular season game before this team heads for the playoffs. They'll try to be an undefeated number one ranked team when they hit the playoffs. Jim Rothwell with me now. Jim, on stats, you had a real challenge tonight because we're in a limited amount of space here and you couldn't see the field for the full 100 yards. But thank you for working through that and keeping track of things. It was a big night of passing for Ashdown, what we didn't normally expect from them, but their backup quarterback was in. Arkadelphia, a mixture of passing and running as usual.
Well, you talked about the defense earlier. Excuse me. And that's what we saw. They did throw. The quarterback, Horn, was 17 out of 33, 204 yards, 1 TD, but he had the 3 interceptions. A lot of times he was getting some pressure. And but the running, the Arkansas defense just shut down the run. 30 carries for 52 yards. That's less than 2 yards a carry. Fricks, leading one of our top runners, 13 carries for 46 yards. Horn had 12 carries for 19. Of course, he had some lost plays in there as well. So you hold a team to less than 60 yards rushing and force them to pass, you're gonna. Your defense is playing extremely well.
Jim, especially when they've got a running back like Fricks. Jaden Fricks, all-conference running back. Arkadelphia, I should say, really held him down.
And then with Winfrey, 5 catches. He's going to have his night, 67 yards, but nothing like last year. He did a great job with him. And again, Easter. This is one of the top tight ends in the country, 3 catches. They threw to him 2 or 3 more times, but Arkadelphia did a great job. If they don't throw to him, you think he's not open. So you know that he's been covered very well. So 3 catches for 50 yards for him. Just a great job defensively of maybe forcing Ashdown to do something they're not really comfortable doing. They didn't have a good balance. They threw, as we said, 33 times. I don't think that's what they like to do, what we've seen them do. And again, obviously, their quarterback, McElroy being out made a difference. It takes them out of their normal stuff. But let's get to the Arkadelphia offense. Whitten was 18 out of 30, 199 yards, 4 TDs. Again, a typical Donovan Whitten night. Again, he rushed 12 times for 54 yards as well and had a couple of key runs to keep drives going. Spreading the ball around. Look, you can see the receivers. 5 for Babb. That's Purefoy had 1. Hughes had 3. Campbell had 5. Bailey had 1. Buckley had 1. Bailey had 1. And then Reed had 2. You're spreading that ball around to all those receivers. So it puts a lot of pressure on the defense to figure out who they're going to stop.
It's not the highest percentage that Whitten has thrown for, percentage of completions, but he threw deep a lot, which is a lower percentage pass, but really kept the safeties deep that helped the running game at times and also helped the underneath game with some big, big plays, especially after the turnovers in the third quarter. They converted those into touchdowns.
Yeah, the last game, I think he was almost at 70% or something, but there were several deep throws he just missed on, or a couple were dropped. And one or two of them, it was good plays by Ashdown as well. But throwing the ball deep, kept that safety. He would be almost 15 to 20 yards off the line of scrimmage, which opens up that underneath game, opens up the little dump passes to the running backs. And you saw sideline passes to Campbell and Babb as well, because that safety is so deep. Can't get there to help on any of that.
So, Jim, on the running game, we don't see any high figures for totals, but we do see multiple running backs who made key runs for Arkadelphia.
That's true. Seems to have been that way. When Buckley was out, Reed took over and had a couple of great games, but you go with one, it's hot a little bit, and then you put the other one in, and different styles. And then you throw in a Purefoy who can make that little quick move and be gone. So you've got three different running backs that you can draw. Plus you've got Whitten back there. He's so powerful. When if he'd ran over the guy here earlier, he probably would have had the first down on that one play. So you've got people that have different styles of running, bring different ability, and they can all catch the ball out of the backfield. We've seen Reed do that. We saw Bailey do that.
Good work with Buckley. Good work with Kyle Reed, as you mentioned. Leading rusher, though, Donovan Whitten.
Right. Just a couple of key runs, keeping drives going. Good balance. We saw the running game really in the fourth quarter sort of begin to establish itself, and that's sort of the way it's been. We get the lead, and then we can go to that running game, and the offensive line just goes to work and pounds them out.
You're looking at a really fine Arkadelphia offensive line. You see a quarterback like Whitten, who is throwing the ball plus 50 yards on some of the deep patterns tonight. You see a wealth of receivers. I mean, we're talking about another big game from Babb, another big game from Campbell, another good game from Hughes. Evan Bailey had a catch, a couple of catches out of the backfield by both of the running backs. You can throw to multiple people in every single game. You got a couple of running backs who can run and a quarterback who can run. Arkadelphia's offense came in averaging 46 points per game. They got 41 tonight against one of the most athletic teams in 4A.
That's true. There have been very few probably teams in the secondary that can match up with Arkadelphia in terms of speed and athleticism with the receivers, and this is one of them. But they still were getting open. There were good runs after the catch. Probably tonight, Whitten got more pressure than he has in the last several weeks, and that affected the accuracy some. He's getting rid of the ball a little bit before he wanted to maybe sometimes. But he's got an arm. There were a couple of deep passes. He threw it 55, 60 yards in the air. He can throw it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to watch, isn't it?
It
sure
is.
High school quarterback with that much power in his arm. Arkadelphia also is averaging in scoring defense, only giving up 13 points per game. Tonight they gave up 12 points, again, to a tremendously athletic team with a future Razorback playing at one receiver position and a really fine receiver that caught 10 passes for 3 touchdowns last year against Arkadelphia, and an all-conference running back. The backup quarterback probably going to be a starter from here on out because he throws the ball so well, and of course they're trying to get their former starter back in who was injured last week. So it's a good offense for Ashdown, but Arkadelphia's defense came through time after time, especially with turnovers, to set up points.
Yeah, the turnovers were very important. They were a key to slowing Ashdown down and then making them throw the ball, which is tonight that's what's apparently what they wanted to do, but that's not normal for them. The defense, what we've seen is sort of the first quarter, maybe first quarter and a half, team comes out and moves the ball a little bit on them. Maybe he has a good drive, scores some points, and then the defense just seems to figure it out, just seems to click. Oh, this is what we're doing, what they're doing. We know how to stop it now. In the second half, we've seen them just basically come out and shut teams down in the second half defensively.
7-6 at halftime. Arkadelphia with a 1-point lead. They wind up winning 41-12 tonight. When we come back with more of the postgame show sponsored by Blend Luxury Real Estate and Kerry Garnett, we'll have offensive and defensive players of the game with Chase, and we'll have interviews down on the field with Chris Babb. We'll be back with more action in the postgame show after this.
Imagine a place where children can feel safe, a place where kids are empowered and accepted. In this place, you are special. You are unique. You are loved. Imagine a place where you can have fun every single day. We are that place.
Rise Counseling and Diagnostics is a member of the Pediatrics Plus family and offers behavioral health services to children, teens, and families. Their goal is to identify and address the needs of every client individually for their emotional, intellectual, social, and academic goals. Rise provides an array of individual and family counseling services as well as learning disability testing. You can receive services at the Pediatrics Plus Arkadelphia Clinic on 702 Hickory here in Arkadelphia or via telehealth. To learn more about how they can serve your family, visit riseforfamilies.com.
We are right back here at Dick Hayes Stadium in Ashdown, where the folks have treated us just tremendously well here in the press box. We're glad to be on the home side and have the opportunity to bring you this good angle all night, bring you the band at halftime. What a great job they did. And now in the postgame show, sponsored by Blend Real Estate in Cary Garnett, let's bring Chase back into the conversation. And Chase, let's talk about offensive and defensive players of the game. There's a particular receiver that I might nominate for the offensive player of the game for his big play, especially in the second half.
Would it happen to be a repeat of last week's player of the week?
I can't help it. Man, what a half he had. We're talking about Trip Campbell.
Trip Campbell, I agree, Jeff. This was truly one of the standout performances that we've seen from Arkadelphia's wide receiving core, and really Campbell doing a great job not only of putting up points but really setting the tempo for the rest of the half. His score really got this offense rolling. We saw a little bit of, sputters in confidence throughout this game. Arkadelphia didn't get a ton of opportunities to get out on the field, and they didn't necessarily get to convert on those opportunities when they did go out on the field. But Trip Campbell really got this offense in line. Donovan Witten doing a great job resisting a good defensive pressure as well here tonight. But Trip Campbell, when you have 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions, you're looking at putting up 16 points by yourself in a second half that saw 34 points for Arkadelphia here tonight. Really was a standout effort.
Well, I tell you what, Chase, they were so important when they came. It was 7-6 Arkadelphia at halftime, but it was Campbell that came through in that third quarter after turnovers, of course, when Arkadelphia came through, turnover on defense, set up by the defense. The offense comes through with 2 key touchdowns, both by Campbell, a 2-point conversion then and a 2-point conversion later in the second half. Trip Campbell, our offensive player of the game, and respect, obviously, to Witten, who played well with pressure on him, to all the receivers. Another big night for Babb and for the other receivers. Trip Campbell's our offensive player of the game for the second week in a row. What about defense?
This is going to be a tough pick, Jeff, because you look at a game like this, and this is really a defensive effort. And really, I'm tempted to give it not to one player in particular, but to one unit in particular. And that's a unit that has really stepped up for the Badgers all season long, and that's the linebacking core for Arkadelphia. This is a group that it seems game in and game out. It doesn't matter who's stepping in. It's a next man up mentality for Arkadelphia. These linebackers are always exploding to the ball. You look at Marvion Berry. He scooped up a fumble early in the game. You got 2 more additional turnovers in the second half, 2 interceptions. You have Tucker Guy coming up with an interception and Zane Thomason coming up with interceptions as well. So really that core in general making a huge impact in this game and really helping to turn the tide.
I'm with you on that. We're talking about the great linebackers for Arkadelphia that came through beautifully with turnovers tonight. But I also want to mention the secondary had a beautiful game. Nick Williams, some wonderful open field tackles, form tackles for Arkadelphia. And, of course, the defensive line put pressure on the quarterback all night long. So all of those units played so well. The defensive line for Arkadelphia, the secondary for Arkadelphia, but it's the linebacking core that will get our defensive player of the game. We are just about ready for a sideline interview coming from Chris Babb. We are getting close to that. We are anxious to bring that to you because Arkadelphia has picked up a win tonight against a very good Ashdown team. Badgers 41, Ashdown 12, and Arkadelphia, of course, remains undefeated now at 7-0 on the year. Chris Babb down the sideline is going to have a conversation in a moment, but before we get there, let's just talk for a moment, Chase, about the fact that it's an off week next week. Arkadelphia has handled its off weeks well twice. They got to do it one more time, and they'll have a lot to focus on because Malvern is one outstanding football team.
And this is a group of teams that have a lot of history with each other
you look not only at this as a rivalry game because there is the Ouachita River Rumble Belt on the line, a new trophy that was added a couple years ago to a rivalry that already had decades of history behind it. But then you factor in the fact that both teams likely going to be undefeated going into that matchup. Malvern was out of action tonight. They will have a game next week. But you look at that game, the Malvern Leopards take care of business with the rest of conference play. You get to the final week of the regular season, Arkadelphia and Malvern not only playing for the rivalry game, but they're also playing for the first seed in the 4A state playoffs.
And that's very important, Chase. I don't see anybody beating Malvern but Arkadelphia, and I think Malvern's saying the very same thing. I don't see anybody beating them or beating Arkadelphia except them. So that's going to be a whale of a football game in 2 weeks. No game next week again, but we're going to bring you the Malvern game in 2 weeks. And what a precursor that will be to the playoffs. Once again, very important to be undefeated. Arkadelphia, obviously, their fans would love to see them be number one in the state in multiple polls at the end of the regular season, undefeated at the end of the regular season, and set themselves up for some home games in the playoffs. All of that dependent on the ability to beat a very, very good Malvern team, a team that has played beautifully all season long. They only have one loss. It was out of conference. Malvern is undefeated in conference and a real threat to Arkadelphia, but Arkadelphia has been able to defend, score, and beat any team that's come its way so far in 2022. Let's go down to the sideline. Arkadelphia's head coach, Trey Shucker, with Chris Babb.
There's the victorious Arkadelphia head coach Trey Shucker. And Coach, talk about three phases of the game. Let's talk about that defense first. Really came up big, kept you in it, and then your offense got going in the third quarter.
Yes, defense overall played their tails off all night. Only gave up one touchdown in the first half. I know it's not what we want, but if that's all we're doing, we should be able to put some points on the board. We just offensively didn't execute. Had some penalties, some missed assignments here and there that prevented that. Regrouped at halftime. Defense came out in the second half. I think 3 interceptions, huge for us. Interceptions on positive side of the field put our offense in a really good position to score, and our offense capitalized on it. But defense really led us tonight overall by keeping them out of the end zone in the first half and then really getting us the ball back really quick in the second half, and that's why we were able to score like we were.
A couple of times when you mentioned the good field position, you still have to take advantage of that. You did that, and then your offense was able to put a long drive together late to kind of put the game away.
Yes, very proud of our offense. Our offense came back in the second half and did a lot better job of executing and just sticking to the scheme and just minimizing the penalties that kind of prevented us in the first half. We're able to catch the ball a little bit better. The run lanes were a little bit wider. We knew that if we could play with tempo, we'd be able to kind of create some of that and make it happen. So we kind of just got back to the way we do things and execute at a better level.
Coach, congrats. Good win.
Thank you. Go Badgers.
Oh, you just got to love head coach Trey Shucker and the approach he takes to coaching a team. All of his assistants also, Chase. It's quite a team of coaches, and that is one of the reasons, maybe the main reason, that this talent for Arkadelphia executes so well and wins game after game.
I think you summarized it perfectly, Jeff. This really is a team effort every time out, and I know we keep saying that about, there are those standout players, but it always seems like a unit working together. That's because it is. It's all one force contributing together, and really not just one team. We mentioned this earlier in the week and on last week's broadcast, but this really is a family unit. When you look out there, you don't necessarily just see players and coaches. You see a family unit. Those players aren't just walking out there with their teammates. They're walking out there with their brothers, and a lot of these coaches are just like family to these players. They're with each other day in and day out for weeks on end, always giving their all, as Coach Shucker likes to say, getting better with each and every day, and that's what helps them to continue to succeed. It's been a great campaign thus far, remaining undefeated up to this point in the year, and now trying to finish off the regular season undefeated with a challenge in a couple weeks. 1 week of rest, though, before that big matchup.
They are doing it the right way, and Arkadelphia's team is responding in the right way, and the Badgers are undefeated on the season at 7-0. Final score tonight, again, Arkadelphia 41 and Ashdown 12, in a game that was 7-6 Arkadelphia at halftime. The Badgers dominating the second half. Part of that also, Chase, is just being in good shape and continuing to play. It's a cooler evening. There's a lot of hard hitting going on, and Arkadelphia is able to bounce up after every hard hit.
And we saw that conditioning come into play a few times early in the season. You had some Tiger matchups, at least going into the break like we saw tonight. The last couple of weeks hasn't been too close at the break. Arkadelphia has either been in the good sportsmanship rule or right on the edge of it. But tonight, really a test through that first half. Ashdown was a team that was on a little bit of a skid, something to prove, and they played a great first half. They also came out with a pretty good effort in the second half, but ultimately Arkadelphia cleaning up the mistakes, and not only that, but capitalizing on the mistakes this time of Ashdown, and really just a team that made the most of every opportunity that they got in the second half, and that's what you like to see. Even though necessarily you didn't have the first half that you wanted to have, you were still in that position to win. You were able to clean up those mistakes, and when you get out into the second half, everything starts rolling the right direction.
Chase, I want to thank you for your excellent work again tonight. Let me get the last word here from Chris Babby. He's made his way back up to the press box. He has crawled up the catwalk and made it safely up here, and we are so glad that, Chris, you've got the connections to work it out to where we're here in the press box. We're in a tight space, but we're so glad to be here and be able to bring this picture, be able to bring the halftime show, which was wonderful by the Arkadelphia High School Band. It's really a great opportunity to be here in Ashdown and see the game so well from here in the press box. And that's in large part due to the fact that you are the most connected person in the world, and we appreciate your work. But let's talk one last time here before we go off the air and then come back in 2 weeks. Let's talk about the Malvern Leopards, the importance of that game. You want to finish the year undefeated. You want to win the conference outright. You want to be the #1 seed in the playoffs. It's important for a lot of reasons, maybe most apparently, I think, for the playoff implications and the opportunity to play at home.
Yeah, the winner, and I like to think we're a close group. I never thought we'd be this close as we were tonight, but this was fun. But yeah, the winner of the 4A7 will have home field until the semifinals. Harding Academy will be the top seed. They'll get a bye in the first round, and the winner of the 4A7 would be the top seed of the next quadrant on that top half of the bracket. So it'd be home field through until the semifinals. The second seed from the 4A7 would get a first-round home game and then most likely have to go on the road the rest of the way. Arkadelphia has been in that situation plenty of times. You would like to play at home and not have to travel, and Arkadelphia travels well, but home playoff games are fun. So, that you can look at who's in that side and try to play matchups and all that, but regardless, that's what it means. The 1 seed from the 4A7 gets home field until the semifinals. And the 2 seed would play 1 home game and then most likely travel the rest of the way.
Chris, thank you so much. We got a lot to talk about in 2 weeks when we come back and see Arkadelphia taking on Malvern. I want you to tune in for that football game. If you can't come to the stadium, watch it and listen to it on this broadcast. And I know some of you are watching and listening from places like San Diego and Seattle and Denver and North Carolina and Virginia and maybe even South Korea like last week. And so we want you to tune in. If you're too far away to come to the game, come to the game if you can, though. Let's have a big crowd in Malvern for that ball game next week. I tell you what, it has been a lot of fun, and it's going to be even more fun. Next week off, 2 weeks, Arkadelphia and Malvern, and we'll be there for that contest. Thank you to Chris. Also, thank you to Chase, as always, for his good work on color commentary. Jim Rothwell on statistics. Want to say thank you to Coleman Callan from Coleman, Alabama, on our camera. This is Jeff Root. Everybody, the final score was Arkadelphia 41 and Ashdown 12. Good night, and Mary Kate and Abby, Grandpa's on his way.